Hi guys. I am late. I'm sorry. It's like I'm always late. I'm kind of a stereotype, aren't I? There we go. I feel like this camera is not the best camera. I think it's not the worst camera I have, but I don't think the clarity on it is that good. And I was fussing with it for a while. Hi, Derek. Hi, Mystic. Hi, West Haven. Hi, Story of the Black Conservative. Okay, so I'm not sure when BMT is going to get here, but he actually suggested this topic. It kind of ties into something I was saying at my one-on-one with O'Shea on his channel. Was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. And that is that we typically come across the kind of partners that are reflective of what we're honestly looking for. And it was funny because I presented a bunch of stats there. It was on promiscuity. I think I'm going to air it here on my channel too. And at the end, I don't remember his name, but one of the guys that came on the panel was like, well, he's very, very promiscuous, and all the women that he's been with have been very, very promiscuous. And I was saying that's kind of what I was saying, is that promiscuous people tend to sleep with each other. And that in general, we have some level of control over the kind of people that we date. So if we are looking for sex and then we try to get into a serious relationship with the woman that we found when we were looking for sex, or a man that we found when we were just looking for sex or knew he was only looking for sex, then we can't be surprised when those relationships go south, right? Because you weren't looking for a person to have a long-term relationship with. You were looking for a hookup. Or, if you want somebody that, dresses conservative, but you're always hitting on IG models or people that look like that, then you're not going to get, you're going to get what you go after. And the same thing goes for women. If you just are looking for a guy with money, but then you get salty because he's not the nicest person ever, well, you were looking for money. You weren't looking for a nice guy. So I think we find often what we want to find. And that was sort of the point that I was making last night, is sometimes our world experiences are not indicative of the broad spectrum of people in the world. They're indicative of us and reflective of us as people. And so I want to talk about that, how we have some level of control over our personal experiences and what we do or don't feed into and who we do and don't attract, like some personal accountability conversations, right? Hi, Dark Prophet. So this is where I want to go with this. Kind of imagine it. Let's take relationships out of the picture. Do you know how if you are in a bad mood, it seems like a lot of other bad things start to happen in your day? When you project an energy, it attracts that. So I have a video here. Most of my videos are pretty positive, right? I have a video regarding MGTOW, and I make fun of MGTOW. I don't know if you guys have seen it. I'm wearing like a green dress, and it's a satirical video, but y'all know I'm always serious. So that video gets negative attention, right? So that would be like me saying, oh my gosh, all these MGTOW guys are coming to my channel and making negative comments under this video. But the video is not positive. So that negative energy is attracting negative attention, right? I obviously don't have tons of trolls crawling under the video I did about home birthing yesterday, right? Because there's nothing negative about that video. So I don't have tons of negative people coming for it. And I feel like in relationships, it works the same way. We are going to receive the sort of people that are attracted to the energy we are putting out. And it can also deflect people. So a really good, I'm fine, Dwayne, thank you. A really good example of this is there is a YouTuber here, I mentioned him last night, that I hope to interview, Alpha Male Strategies. I don't know that I've approached him yet. Maybe I did when my channel was smaller, maybe not, because I think I was on the fence about it. But he said something really key in a video of his that I watched. And that was that he is only looking for women to have sex with, right? So if he comes across a woman and she won't sleep with him after a couple of dates, or I forget what his time frame was, but it wasn't very long. It was essentially like, if she's not going to sleep with me after this time frame, that's not a woman he's going to waste his time with. He's going to move on to the next, right? Because that's not what he's looking for. And so that works both ways, right? Our energy can project a certain way, and then it attracts or it repels people. So this is kind of like, and sometimes we don't know what our energy is, right? Because we could be a guy or a girl that's looking for a good guy or girl, right? But for example, gentlemen, have you ever had this happen to you? A woman is walking down the street. I've had this happen to me as a woman. I'm walking down the street. Somebody attempts to talk to me. And I act like I don't even hear or see them. I don't even acknowledge that they exist, right? So the typical response that I get is, she's stuck up. She thinks she's all that. Her butt's not that big anyway. Okay, those are the typical responses that I get, right? Now, I do that because I don't want to be picked up on the street. I'm not that chick. Also, I recognize that when I'm polite back, a lot of men take that as not me being polite, but me inviting further conversation. So I've learned to just simply not respond and just keep it moving and accept the insults that people hurl at me. Now, with that said, think about that. A man that says, I want a good girl, tries to approach a woman on the street, and she's not receptive to random men approaching her on the street, but will think that there's something wrong with that woman. Again, what are we truly looking for? I think sometimes we think we're looking for something, but that's not really what we're looking for. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes we are fooling our own selves about the standards that we have or what we really want. Based on experience, yeah. Thank you, Omega. I got some of your friends. Well, that's good. I just came on there and just tried to be real. Because I think, honestly, a lot of times, you guys, we can understand the world through our personal experiences. Do you know what I mean? So let's say you're taking a woman on a date. And I'm looking at this from the male and the female perspective, but mostly from the female perspective, right? Because I'm not a guy. So this is a woman. And I actually went through this. I'll share this with you guys in my current relationship, right? Because here I am in a relationship with a man. I'm somewhat attractive. You know what I mean? I'm attractive to my man, right? And so we're going out, we're taking trips, we're doing stuff, and we're not engaging. So there was a split second where he's like, okay, she knows millionaires. I don't know any billionaires, but I know several millionaires. And she's used to dating this type of man. She's used to this type of lifestyle, right? And my man's not a poor dude, but I was asked in the comment section, would I be with the blue collar guy? In the comment section of my blue collar video, will you be with the blue collar guy, Irene? And I was like, well, I think people date in their income bracket, right? So I don't meet traditional blue collar guys. Like I meet like, high rise window installers, but those dudes are making like 150, 200,000 a year, so they're blue collar, the man that I was with prior to my husband, he was a robotics engineer. Do you know what I mean? So he got his hands dirty, but he also made like 12 grand a month. Do you know what I mean? And had rental property income as well. So, but blue collar technically, right? Because he works with his hands. Now, I think the person meant like, would you with a blue collar guy that makes less money? I think was the question he really was trying to pose to me. But my thing was, in my circle of people are upper middle class to rich, right? Not wealthy. Wealthy is a whole nother income bracket, but upper middle class to rich. My man would be on the lower income scale of the people that I circulate with, but I chose him. Now, when we were dating, to get back to my point, when we were dating or whatever, we had to get over a hump, which is that in his mind, right? And this is to all you guys that say you're looking for a good girl, right? In his mind, he's taking me out, we're taking trips, we're hanging, we're doing all this, but he's not allowed to hang out at my house. He's not allowed to be, let's say if he comes over, because remember I met him through a mutual acquaintance for business, for a school, a private school that now we're working on private school together, but at the time, a private school that I was opening with my former partner. And so I wouldn't allow him. He came over to like bring a private school or a charter school proposal, because my school was originally supposed to be a charter. And the sun was going down and I threw him out my house. I mean, I was polite about it, but I was like, oh, well, I see the sun is setting. You're going to need to leave. Experiences like that made him think that I wasn't really into him, but I actually like him. Obviously, I love him, right? Because we're together now, right? But I don't move that way. Do you know what I mean? I don't want you at my house after sunset if you're at my home, because I'm not trying to have sex with you. Do you know what I mean? So you don't need to be at my house for dinner. I was reserved in a lot of ways. And so he felt like, am I getting, because I told you guys, first of all, I told y'all my man is attractive, but he is not like ultra attractive by conventional standards. I love the hell out of him, but you know what I mean? So I literally had the conversation with him. I was like, oh, do you feel like, I'm using you? Do you think that I'm not serious about this relationship? Like, is there anything like that going through your mind, right? Because a lot of men, and men, you've probably been in this position with women, will think that if a woman is kind of cute, or if she's used to something else and you're spending money on her and spending time with her, but you're not getting in her panties, that you're being a simp, or, she's not really interested in you and she's using you and things like that. I'm going to tell you this. One of the reasons we're together today is that we had that conversation. I expressed to him, I'm just not that way. Like, I just have reservations. I'm just a careful person. I just don't like to move that way. And one time in my life, in one relationship that I was in for 3 years, I made a mistake of moving too fast against my better judgment. And you can see that's not a person I married. So I learned from that one experience to vet the men that I deal with, right? And so I feel like a lot of times we say we're looking for wife material, we're looking for a good girl, but if you come across that girl that won't let you holler at her on the street, that's not going to let you be up in her house after dark, that's not going to sleep with you just because you took her on a few dinners, that might be more reserved about having you meet her family, or having you meet, if she's a mother, her children or something like that. I feel sometimes guys feel some kind of way. As a woman, I'm going to tell you from a woman's perspective, when a man comes for me like that, I think he's an alpha male strategies guy, right? Like, oh, I see what you were after, so then I fall back. Does that mean that what I presented to you wasn't genuine. No, it means that you shot yourself in the foot by coming across like every other dude. And how do you weed out the bad seeds and the bad eggs, right? Other than to take the things that men are normally after off of the table and see if you guys are compatible as people. So that's why I say sometimes we don't know what we're looking for. Do you know what I mean? We say we want something, but then if it's in our face, we might misread it because we are truly not looking for that, right? We're truly not looking for that. We're looking for something else. Oh, hey.
Hey, what's going on?
Not much. Let me turn you up so I can hear you. Okay. Have you
Yeah.
been listening? Do you have anything to add to this?
No, you need to catch me up. I've been running around. I'm actually supposed to meet with a I gotta actually I'm probably gonna be bring you in on a show that's gonna be a real treat and goodie for you. Um I'm gonna be doing an interview with a politician coming in soon to actually help win the Florida election and the Georgia election. So they've been going around winning, and we're taking over on a lot of stuff. So I said what I will do as a treat, but I've been seeing you run around on different stuff. I said, you know what? Why don't I actually drop Irene in the political talk with a good friend of mine? It's gonna be Friday, and we're hashing out the details with his people and my people. So with me, you're gonna talk off screen on that, and I feel like wear your nice little ask off, and
They say they can't hear you. Will you turn the volume up?
they can't hear me. Can you hear me now?
Turn the volume up.
Hmm. How about now?
No, it's just pretty bad. I can hear you, but
Hmm.
I'm struggling too. But go ahead.
Let me back. You want me back out? Come right back in.
Okay.
All right, let me back out. I'll come right back in.
Okay. No, and no. No, he's just my Gullah brother. He's just another Gullah. Here on YouTube. He's black. His channel is Black Male Talk. And then he has another channel, Black Male Talk 2. So BMT2 and then BMT Black Male Talk are his two channels. And if you look in the description box, you will see his channels there. My man won't do YouTube. He likes to listen. Like I was on Nyla's panel last night, and he gets so into Nyla's panels and stuff, and he'll be having commentary and things. But the thing is with him, he does like actual activist work in the real world. He has to mingle with the outreach programs for Black youth here in the state. He has to mingle with the NAACP. He has to mingle with white-led organizations and things like that. And so he's very careful about where he puts himself. Do you know what I mean? Because his work is more political in nature. Okay, go ahead. That seems like it's about to be better already.
Okay, so can you hear me now?
Yeah, really well.
Okay, so pretty much what I did was me and my team sat down. We've done a lot of political talk with a lot of different candidates. One of the people in particular is going to be coming on. And I showed them a little bit of your show as well as also my show. I told you I got our back. So what I'm looking at doing is going to be we're going to be doing some political talk on stuff that we're looking at in the Black community, as well as with Republicans and Black conservatives. And I'm like, well, damn, why don't I bring Irene in this? Because, rather than us just talk about the usual topics of trends and different things between boys versus girls, let's talk some hard politics on things that we're looking to see in change in our country and in community. So I'm definitely going to throw your name in the pot for you to join us on that show. So I feel like you got questions that you want to ask and things you want to talk about. We're going to be talking about trade and different things going on for jobs, police, and what's going healthcare. And hey, that's something that me and you both like to dabble in. So I'm definitely going to bring you in on that meeting. If you want in, let me know later on when we get off the show. I think that's something that you probably want to know about. And I think I just finished up. It was a pretty good talk. So I'm really confident in that. And hopefully if everything, prayers go well, I'm hoping to move us to like radio someday. So That's like, we're really doing some good moves. You're doing it from your side. I'm doing it from my side. There's different players in the game right now. And right now, I could definitely say our horses are starting to come out of the stable. So let's talk, Irene. I just wanted to give you that good news.
Oh yeah, that sounds cool. You know, I'm down for whatever.
All right. So what's up that people that we're talking on right now? I missed some of it. So can you catch me up?
Yeah, so basically, I was just discussing, like, and I was using my relationship as an example that sometimes people aren't even honest with themselves about what they are looking for, and they will pass up a good wife material woman because that's not what they're really looking for. And I was using an example of how, just from a woman's perspective, if a man approaches me on the street, I normally won't acknowledge that they exist, and somebody will call me stuck up, but I'm just not the sort of person to be picked up by a random man on the street. Or I was talking about how in my current relationship, because, you know, I held back a lot of the physical, but we were still doing all of the dating stuff. We had to have a conversation. Like, we sat down and we really talked about, like, do you feel I'm doing this because I'm not interested, or because, you know, I'm using you or anything like that? Versus me just being a reserved individual, and how men will often, and I was using alpha male strategies as an example, because once he said that if a woman doesn't sleep with him after a couple of dates, he doesn't deal with her anymore because that's not what he's looking for. And I was saying a lot of men are like that. They misconstrue a woman who is reserved with a woman who is trying to use them, when in fact she just is reserved with herself or her space or her body or whatever it is. And so you have to decide what you want. And I think sometimes people misread friend zone. Like, you can be friend zone, don't get me wrong. Yeah. But a lot of times, if you're dealing with a woman who is just not out there like that, you're not being friend zoned, you're being vetted, and being able to tell the difference between being friend zoned and being vetted by a quality woman or man.
This is actually a really good topic. I'm glad that me and you talked about this last night. And yeah, I didn't get to, believe it or not, I didn't have sex with my wife for 2 years. I know, as much as I talk about sex and intimacy on my channel, it took time. Like, I wanted to court. Like, I wanted to, like I said, I did my creeping, I did all that stuff. And like I said, I think the thing about it is everybody wants to fast track wife or fast track husband. Like, why should I have to wait to get in bed? We've been going on for 10 years plus. So do the math. 10 years plus, we've been trial by fire. I've done some things. I've done some decency. So I made mistakes. But the time and effort and hard work that we put into it, those things, as Irene is telling a lot of y'all, get put into consideration. If you get the fast, ready, easy to bake meal, the easy baked pie, you really don't think too much of it to throw it away. Now, do you? Versus the pie that you actually have to take time to make the crust, to actually make the top layer. You get what I'm saying, Irene? To go pick the fruit. You're going to enjoy every ounce of that pie because of the effort you put into it. What I try to tell a lot of men, before you shoot your shot at a woman, but if she's easy to, like, just throw the draws towards you, how many other men have gotten that access? Like, there's nothing new under the sun. And I get it now that right now with media, everybody's trying to sell sex, and it's getting to a bad potency that it's hard to actually get the good pickings. Or I try to tell a lot of ladies, like, listen, make this brother actually work. But I don't mean like make him do some crazy outlandish things, but you really need to start vetting your partners. Like, why is it a bad thing to ask, when's the last time you got a checkup? Now, I literally said that to a female, like, hey, when the last time you got checked? She said, why would my man ask me that kind of question? Why wouldn't your man ask you that question? I mean, to me, I would think that means he cares about you. And once, you get what I'm saying? He wants to know, like, hey, have you gotten checked lately? Do you know what's going on with yourself? I got checked. But for a man to say, hey, I got myself clinically checked, that means, hey, I don't want whatever I had in my past to follow into my future. Just like I talk about I like to play, and some people call it the childish, but I like to play the what if game. I like to ask questions about children, taxes, dating, housing, your your values with your parents. We need to, especially in 2018, we need to know who it is that we're laying in bed with, or better, before we even lay in bed with them, who the hell am I sitting across the table from? What is it about them? Because when you rush to the altar, and I'm seeing a lot, and I'm seeing this time and time again with a lot of you brothers, and I'm seeing some of y'all end up running on social media. Oh my God, this woman I didn't know she had this. I didn't know she had that. I'm like, well, Negro, did you ask the hard questions? Like, did you properly vet her? Take your time and actually analyze the Rubik's Cube for what she has built. A woman's just, if she's easy to read, you got a problem. Girls have their secrets, but as they grow trusting you, they will start to reveal intimacy and different things about them to reveal their vulnerability. When a woman starts like piece by piece peeling away for you, that means she's letting you into the world of Miss Yvette. You get what I'm saying? And a lot of guys, y'all got to learn how to savor that, man. I'm taking from the man who's made thousands of mistakes with his wife. And the thing about it that I can tell you right now throughout the ages and years is that she can't discount that I put this time in with this man, and so has he. So we've had times we're like, well, let's get a divorce. But when we look at the time of merit in the vetting stages that we put each other through, nobody else outside of our circle can stack up to the work that me and her put in all the way up to now. Like, it took me 2 years before me and her vetted. 6 years for me to build up our empire. Mind you, she was helping me build my empire. So a lot of people think that when y'all get together, boom, it's supposed to happen. Like, you ever heard that? Like, people think that once y'all get married, everything's supposed to go like peachy cream, like nothing's supposed to happen. Like, y'all don't understand. When you take on a woman, that's work. And I don't mean work like as in bad thing, because I watch a lot of y'all whenever Irene tells you the standards of a woman, some of y'all freak the hell out like, oh my God, like, no, she's telling you her standards. So when she says, my man likes the way I dress like this, my man, like everything that she says my man, not you Negroes, my man. So she doesn't have to prove shit to a lot of you Negroes. Excuse me for cursing, but I gotta let y'all know, like, it's the same thing what I would say for my woman. I don't look for y'all validation outside of my home because you don't run my castle. That's the thing. When you build your castle with your woman or your mate, you don't need nobody else's standard validation. That's the problem with a lot of y'all, because y'all not building y'all own kingdom. Y'all going off of social media. And if you look at social media, they got more jacked up problems, but it's fictitious. Real relationships take time and work. You don't get an all-American black Nubian woman overnight. No. The woman that you do want or you do need, you have to put work like a Pinocchio puppet. You have to put work into getting a real woman. Y'all want that damn easy bake Becky that twerks on Instagram and has thousands of women. Nobody wants that. I mean, if you do, be like Future. He got 6 baby mamas and he can't get none of them in line. But if you want the woman that actually treats you and praises you like a king, and when you come home, she has a hot plate waiting for you, we got to put in the work, brothers. Like, go ahead, Irene.
Well, I was just going to say that Christian was saying nothing's wrong with an easy woman. Some women can use sex as a way to manipulate you because they know men are desperate. And this is what I will have to say. First and foremost, men can't have it both ways. You can't call women whores and like easy women because you want sex, and then also expect to have women held to a standard of being chaste. Like, it has to be one or the other. And again, you need to be able to, and if you are vetting this woman past trying to get in her pants, you will know if she is interested in you. Make no mistake. When my man and I were dealing, it was just as hard for me, because I was attracted to him, because I did love him, to refrain from intimacy. That wasn't easy. He would fly into my state and couldn't stay at my house. How do you think that makes me look? Do you know what I mean? He has to stay at a hotel. He has to stay at one of his fraternity brothers' homes when he's in the same state as me and coming there to see me. How do you think that makes him look? How do you think that makes me look? It's also, as a woman, curbing the fact that men think like you. Do you know what I mean? And liking somebody and having to cut them off because they're frustrated about not having sex with you while you're trying to get to know them as a person and let them get to know you as a person. So if you're going to reduce a woman down to a vagina, yeah, I suppose some women can hold that over your head if they know that's what you're going for. But you need to differentiate that from a woman who just has standards for her body and wants to be able to present herself to her man without having to say, I slept with 20 dudes. I slept with 10 people. I slept with 30 people. Do you know what I mean? Like, some women value themselves, but more importantly, they're looking for a man that values himself. So you have to recognize her vagina is not a prize at the end of it. And that's why I did that video, weaponizing your vagina. Vaginas are not the prize at the end of a stick. A vagina just comes with a woman. Do you know what I mean? But men, you guys are not animals. I think it's even more desirable to be with a woman who rubs the right things in you. I think that sex is better at the end of the day. When you love a woman, when she is revering you, when there are other things in place other than your simple urges toward her. And I think, again, but see, Christian, you may not be looking for a wife. Do you know what I'm saying? So then in those cases, we have to be honest about what we're looking for. That chick who's more reserved and careful with herself may not be for you if you're a man that is just mostly after vagina.
That makes a lot of sense. Like I like tonight I'm going to be going on a Prophet of Thought series, and Prophet is my brother, and I always try to tell the brothers, where are you shopping? You're not going to go to Walmart and look for Louis Vuitton and Dolce and Gabbana at damn Walmart. You get what I'm saying? Like, you ain't gonna find that type of stuff at Walmart. You know what I'm saying? Like, this ain't no, like, I gotta ask you, but if you just want the easy bake oven, then you pay for what you get for. Like, understand this, like, like I said, I have a few people on my panel, you know what I'm saying? They're like, why does it matter how many bodies I have under my belt? Like, and it's no shade against, my sister that said that. She said it shouldn't matter how many men I had under my body. But for me, I care because I don't want to share you with the world. And I'm gonna tell you right now, brothers, when you have that woman that, if you're a well-established brother, if you can cook, clean, financially establish yourself, you're well-traveled, honestly, the only thing that is left is sex. And I'm going to tell y'all right now, and Irene will know and back me up on this, after a while, you got to have something other than just sex to get you through the years in a relationship. You get what I'm saying, Irene? Like, you got to really know how to mentally stimulate and keep your relationship going. Because once that card runs out, but I'm gonna tell you, brothers, right now, you can't have more sex than a woman. I'm trying to let y'all know right now, it is genetically and physically impossible. So you gotta have something going for yourself to keep this woman attached to you, because you're going to get older. I don't know why we forget that Father Time is nobody's friend. So you got to actually start having something to mentally stimulate and keep her vigorously interested in you. And this is why I say it takes time. A woman is like a fine wine. If it's treated and it's cellared and it's vented very well, she will last throughout the ages. The same thing for y'all women. When y'all looking for these brothers, what kind of man are you looking for? Now, I'm not saying that, hey, some men, yes, they make some mistakes, but after a while, you got to ask that man, like, yeah, okay, I get it. You messed up. But what are you doing to fix it? Are you looking for the victimization card where, baby, yeah, this happens, that happens, but, you still should love me for what it is? No, I don't have to love you because you're telling me I need to drop my stand. That's why it's like, y'all get mad when the woman that you do need passes your black ass up. But you got to ask yourself, are you living to the standard that you need to live by? This is a problem that we have, especially in the Black community. Y'all keep going after the women that aren't doing right. We keep seeing women go after brothers who are do you wrong. Stop lowering our standards. We raise our standard. If they don't want to meet us, find somebody elsewhere.
Can I just
Go ahead.
To two of the comments, Christian, as far as married women withholding sex, that's a problem. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in withholding sex personally, and I wouldn't tolerate that from my man. I would be very upset, and he would be very upset too. So I don't know. I don't understand those kind of relationships. I think that comes with not vetting your partner in the beginning and not having those discussions before you guys are intimate or get married. And for Dwayne, as far as women having a high body count and that being the real reason vetting a mate has even become popular, people don't vet. Vetting your mate's not popular. Okay, it's not popular at all. That's why all these marriages are failing. That's why there's the perception that everybody's sleeping around. If you're sleeping around, you're not vetting people. Like, both things can't be true. People can't have high body counts and also be simultaneously vetting is super popular, because there's no vetting if you have a high body count. You're just having sex with people with no vetting. So that's why I'm saying, like, a lot of times, like the mental trickery and backflips we have to do to make sense of some of our thought processes is astounding to me, because some of these things cannot coexist in the same space. If you're properly vetting, you're not able to build up a high body count because you're not having sex with that person until you have dug all up in their brain, until you've asked them all the questions. Right. I can tell you right now, when I deal with my man, there are no surprises. When I find something, we had an incident, something happened, and I wasn't happy about it, but I knew this before I was sharing a home with this man. Before he was my leader, I already knew that. Why? Because we spent months and months and months, over a year, not quite 2 years, but well over a year, talking to each other, getting to know each other, being transparent with each other, telling everything to each other, no holds bar, and watching how the other person moves. How does that person act when they get into a fight with you? How does that person act when there's a disagreement? How does this person act in certain situations? How consistent is their personality and how they move? How consistent are they with what they say their ideals and belief systems are and how they're carrying themselves and interacting? Do you know what I'm saying? Right. We're looking at that stuff. That's vetting. So there's no high body counts if you're a person that vets other people, because you will quickly find out that you don't want to deal with that person and then they get no sex, right? Or you vet them and you decide to be in a relationship with them. Do you know what I'm saying? So these two things are not running concurrent to each other. That's what's not going on.
Let me say something, Irene, and this is something that I don't, and I'm not going to trick. I'm not trying to trigger none of y'all. One of the biggest people who have a hard time vetting people are children from single households. And the reason why I say that is I asked a man this one thing, like me and him talk, me and him had a conversation. I got to do a show on it later. He was like, sometimes the only way my mama could keep my dad to stay home or whatever boyfriend was in bed. And I was like, I wasn't surprised, but I understood the logic that the woman would have to do. Like, I know some men who won't give their baby mama a cent unless they're hitting that ass. You get what I'm saying? And they're like, why are men like that? And I asked her, I said, well, how did you get him to listen to you? Or how did you get him, how did you get with him in the get-go? She said, well, of course, what I'm saying? He liked what he saw. So I'm like, he didn't like you for you. He just liked what you had. You see what I'm saying? And this is why I try to tell a lot of y'all, especially for the men. I'm talking to the men right now. I tell y'all men, don't just protect just your body, but protect yourself mentally. Y'all don't understand, especially with this Me Too, with all these different type of systems set up, it is going to get harder for you to find a suitable mate. I have told you this. Irene has told you this. O'Shea has told you this. Different people, men and women, are trying to tell you this. Y'all don't understand. It is how it was for me and her when we found ours. It ain't nearly as hard as it is for y'all now. Because this is why you need to ask the questions. Don't wait until it's too late and then you actually hit, oh, wait, you have a felon. You don't want to find that out when you're going to go buy a home. That's the worst time to find, oh, wait, I didn't know you had a felon. Yes, homeowners association, they do ask that. Who has a prior felon? They will ask you that question. What is your credit background? Have you been arrested lately? These questions asked. One woman did not know, mind you, she had 4 girls, that the man she married at the courthouse was a pedophile. But you know what? Guess who found that out? Her mother. But she's like, I felt like I've seen this guy before. He was a pedophile. But now she was mentally confused. She's like, I love him. He's a good guy. But how is he a good guy when he's known for having statutory rape charges on him? These are things that are real that we see. And I know Irene's shaking her head like, yup, these things happen.
Yeah. I also want to, I agree with that. And that's all the more reason to be careful, especially if you're a mother. I want to address a couple things I saw in the comment section. First of all, Simon, thank you so much. He said a guy once told him, the quicker the cop, the quicker the blow. In other words, the more time it takes to win the woman over, the more loyal she will be. And that, I agree with that. I think that's absolutely true. I also want to make a good distinction. Okay, I think this is very important. Christian, you ask a lot of good questions. First of all, I want to say that, yes, I find this is true. If a man has sex with a woman and very quickly, will he stick around? He'll stick around if he likes the sex. He'll stick around, ladies, in the sense that he will call you when he wants to have sex with you. So define sticking around. If you don't have sex with a man right away, he may not stick around. But here's the thing. What would you rather as a woman, right? Would you rather have sex with a man early and him stick around to call you when he wants sex because you're good in bed? Or would you rather not have sex with a man and have him get on about his way? Now, here's the thing. In both cases, the man doesn't want you, okay? The only difference is that you've given him your body in the first scenario. So he gets a little treat before he goes about his way and you get used up a little bit. And this is why we have to be pragmatic about this life, ladies, in the sense that you can't buy his affection with your vagina. It's not possible. God has made too many vaginas and they're all too different. It's like being at a candy store and every piece of candy is slightly different. So that's not going to be the winning move. So you might as well not bother, because if you have sex with him and he doesn't want you, he's going to get gone and you just would have had some sex for the ride. And if you don't have sex with him and he doesn't want you, he's going to get gone too. Either way, that's a man that you don't need. That's a man that you're not going to build with. That's a man where it's going nowhere. You've really wasted your time in the former situation. And then the other thing I wanted to address was, as far as sex making women feel more comfortable. No, it makes a woman feel like she's in a relationship with you. So yeah, sex makes women seem more comfortable around you and da-da-da-da-da. That's because they've bonded with you at that point. They think this is going somewhere at that point. They assume, especially if you sleep with them more than once, that maybe you like them as a person and not just like their bodies. But men don't work like us, okay? You're giving your body up as some sort of reward, like this is how deeply I'm into you. I'm going to give you my whole body. But that's not how men view sex. So we have to stop dealing with our men as if they function like we do. They don't function like we do. They're attracted to the physical first. Do you know what I mean? They have to get attracted to the mental. They have to get attracted to your personality. They have to get into you that way. That takes them longer. And so you aren't going to be in a winning position just having sex with these men. You're not. You have to listen to them. When you read their comments, when you go to the manosphere, when you watch their videos, you have to listen to what they say and stop. We need to stop acting off of what we think and listen to what men are telling us, and then carry ourselves according to the type of men that we want to attract.
Right.
And I would say vice versa for the men.
I want to say this. When I was making foolish mistakes, a girl that I was talking to, every time we would get in an argument, we would always end up having sex. And one time, you know, I was frustrated because the money that I was going to use for us to go, out of town for vacation, she spent $200 and gave it to her sister. Now, I was mad because, dang, $200, you can't just throw that money away. Now, she was like, I'm like, yo, why are you always just dropping your drawers every time we got an argument? She's like, well, shit, my mom always told me that, best way to shut a man up is just to make him nut. And I was like, mind blown. And I'm going to tell y'all right now, some of y'all in this chat and some of us right now have been born out of conflicted, jacked up situations or arguments, or had a baby by mistake because we didn't properly vet the person. Because if you think by having sex and fucking is going to cause your problems to go away, Irene and I can both tell you they do not. They only amplify. Having a baby is an even bigger financial problem. You getting her pregnant, this is why a lot of you men, we don't stick around. We're like, holy shit, she can't do the things she used to do, but she's pregnant. Now her emotions are all over the damn place. And these are problems. This is why I try to tell a lot of you brothers, listen, if you're not in it for the long haul with some of these women, I get it. The booty looks juicy. She's spitting good game. All eyes on you. And sometimes when y'all get in a relationship with some of these women that you really don't like, but you're trying to get closer to another female, you're playing a dangerous game. Women talk. Women talk. I watch y'all listen, I see a lot of y'all do a lot of these videos about how to get a lot of ass. But they don't tell you the scenario when shit hits the fan. And I be laughing. But I'm like, yo, y'all must think this is some type of comic book. When y'all don't actually know what this person actually going through or vetting them and everything, this shit comes back to burn y'all ass. Then y'all wonder why, oh my God, like, how was she? You said you was on the pill. Wait, maybe if you would have waited till she actually did that. Don't be like me. We were 2 babies in before she got on birth control. And I said, yo, we need to stop because right now you are super fertile. My wife as well as Irene, they are very highly fertile women. You blow on them, baby. So shit, after a while, I was like, okay, I'm going to go to work across the other side of the world from you. Around that time, I told her, baby, go get a job. What do you want to go do? See, how many of y'all actually have a talk with your woman? What do you want to do with yourself? What is your career goal? What is your goal in 5 to 10 years? You see, when the woman asks you that question, I hope to God you can give her the 10 to 20 step plan. The same thing for a lot of you women. You need to ask the man, and the man needs to ask you. If they're not asking you, what are you trying to do in 5 to 10 to 20 years? They're not interested in your future like that. And Irene can tell you, because I know she's been given that question by her man, and I have been by mine. Yo, what are you trying to do? Are you doing that now? What's your excuse why you're not doing it? Because when a woman asks that question, she's peeping you to see, is this somebody I can build with? He's stable. Oh wait, he hit a roadblock. How is he going to handle this problem? Can he handle it with me? I know some people thinking like, man, Joe, women don't think like that. That's bullshit. If they see a financial come up, the ain't shit ones, they will make the move and take it from you. the game is a very savage game. But if you got a woman who is building equally, she's not going to want to risk what she's building to throw it away aside, unless she properly vetted for who she wants to build with. This is a problem that we need to start implementing and practicing in our home and teaching to our children. Listen, don't make a mistake like mommy and daddy. Ask the hard questions. What is their GPA? Did they finish school?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I wasn't clear.
Go ahead. I know you wanted it. I'll try to cover while you were snacking.
Oh yeah, I'm eating a hard-boiled egg, y'all. I'm sorry. That's my breakfast. But okay, so I just want to say this too. I want to address something Chris said. He said women cannot judge a man by how fast he has sex. A great man will have sex with you just as fast as a PUA. I don't do the acronyms, y'all. I'm not part of the acronym committee. I don't know what that is. Men do not judge you by how fast a woman has sex. We actually believe you want us. Okay, I don't know what world you're living on, Chris, but yes, men do judge you if you have sex with them right away. I don't know about that. It might just be you. It's not like that. Everybody's an individual. But I will say this. I judge a man if he has sex with me too fast or if he offers me sex too fast. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I know as a woman, men offer me sex all the time. If I cannot get anything else, I can get a penis because you guys are very generous with your bodies. I am personally impressed when a man doesn't. When I'm like, is he attracted to me? And women, don't be offended because when I was a younger woman, if a man didn't offer sex to me so I could turn him down, I thought he wasn't into me. Do you know what I mean? I got it in my mind that basically men were just going to beg me for sex. When I came across some actual men, do you know what I'm saying? When I came across actual men who weren't even in the home with my man right now. Now, he services me regularly, very regularly. But sometimes he will literally just push me off to the side. And I actually like that about him. I like a man that has some reserve, that wants you and is attracted to you, but is not stupid to the point where they can't control their urges. They're going to hop all over you because all men will hop all over you. It has nothing to do with the man liking you. Okay, if he's physically attracted to you, he will have sex with you. So I personally do judge a man that offers me sex too soon. To me, it's a sign of weakness. And I'm going to tell you something. You guys may not believe this about me, or some of you might, because I know some people think I'm a literal witch, like a boogity woogity casting spells type witch. But I could be pretty mean and pretty evil. And I'm big on power exchange. And I honestly believe in every dynamic, there's a dominant and there is a submissive person. And if a man poses himself as submissive to me, I could be a very evil person. I could be that female. So for me, because I'm working on being my best self, I only engage men who are dominant to me because a weak man will bring the wrong things out of me. So for me, I am attracted to men who have self-control because if a man is offering me sex, I realize that I have the upper hand because you've already shown me your cards, which is you want my vagina. And see, women, we need to be led. And so if you put us in a position of power over you, it's a weakened position. I'm just going to be honest with you as a woman. And I am a good woman. I am submissive to my man. But trust me, it will just take one weak guy who's thinking with his penis to come across a very dominant woman. And then those will be the guys that'll be MGTOW because they got run over playing with the wrong female, presenting themselves the wrong way in a weakened position. And many women will do that. Many women will, because it's in us to do that. It is in us to do that because it's in everybody to pose the way that they pose. Everybody's been in a position with a submissive person, a person who is submissive to you, right? But since women aren't built to be dominant over a man, it goes south when you put yourself in a weakened position to us. So yes, do judge it. Women, do judge if a man offers you sex too quickly. That's nothing unique. A man offering you his penis, that's not special. So I would judge it as a woman. And men, y'all know that men in the comment section, are you really going to say you don't judge women when literally I just came off of a panel where men were straight calling women hoes for having high body counts? But then we have a man saying that men don't judge women for having sex too early. Like I said, I don't understand. Like a lot of these arguments cannot coexist in the same time and space. So I don't know why people make them, because it makes little to no sense sometimes.
Let me tell you this right now. One of the situation. Am I echoing? I think I'm echoing. Am I echoing?
Are you what? No, I don't think you're echoing.
Okay. One of the situations, and I try to tell a lot of you brothers, like, we got to stop the narrative that, oh yeah, like, it shouldn't matter if she gives it up to us quickly, because then we see the narrative, and I ain't gonna lie, like, and there's nothing against. I see what the brother's saying, where he's also saying, like, hey, we should be able to smash, and I mean, that should not take away from the situation. However, I'm not gonna lie, it's like it's like being a hypocrite, because, and Irene will tell you, I called her. It's like I gave her a video cousin hug, and I said, Irene, I love you very much, and I'm very proud of you, because what we're hearing here on this side is, oh yeah, women, it's okay for y'all to sleep around just like men. But then when we get to the manosphere and I get with my brothers, then we hear their polar opposite. Like, fuck all these hoe ass bitches, y'all sluts. And I'm like, damn, I could have sworn we just want them to spread their legs. Like, damn, nigga, y'all need to make up your mind now. Y'all don't like it when mama does it. You don't like it when your sister does it. Y'all don't like it when nobody close to you becomes a hoe. But then you want every other female to be that hoe. So what then? Because then you're going to feel some type of way when they judging your daughter, saying you ain't about to tell your daughter to drop her legs for every damn man that's swinging it around. And I got to be real, man. The narrative that we be pushing out is sometimes it be very stupid. Listen, I'm going to tell my daughters, listen, you going to make that Negro work. He going to have a damn good credit. And yeah, you going to sound bougie as fuck, but guess what? I know you're going to have a good one, because you're going to have your stuff together before he can start demanding you from you. Like, you make him work for your kingdom. And that's a problem that we ain't telling our daughters. And if they got to be looked at as stuck up, then so be it. Because we're seeing a lot of out of wedlock birthing. I believe Irene covered that, as well as a few other men have covered it, right? Irene, I think you were talking about out of wedlock birthing going on. What's the out of wedlock birth in for the Black community right now?
70%.
Now look at that. No other ethnicity in the U.S. has it that bad as our women. Nobody. I am tired of looking at our women looking like they're taking last place. I know some of y'all know y'all mama ain't shit, but why are we painting this narrative? A lot of y'all ain't trying to put on no damn condom. Oh, I can't wear no condom. But then y'all get mad when the woman ends up pregnant. But then y'all get mad when, oh, she gonna get an abortion. Like, at some point, the accountability card has to get pulled. We can't keep on leaving it on the shelf and be waiting for a damn miracle. I got 4 children. 2 other of my kids are dead because I was not accountable. The first mother and my child are dead. The second one gave me my child in a shoebox because she said I wasn't selling dope. Y'all gotta understand, this world is not a nice place. There are more Black children in the system than any other ethnicity. Y'all, this is not so. At some point, we got to start holding our people accountable. Men, ask this woman, what do you see yourself doing? What do you want? Do you want my last name? And if you do, why do you think you deserve it? If she can't tell you, well, I suck good dick. Well, shit, you got a problem, damn it. If that is her best skill, I don't know. Well, let her put that down on the goddamn application. But she's gonna, then she needs out, and also for y'all women, y'all need to ask this dude. Please don't let it be he makes rap CDs. Listen, we got to be realistic, man. We need some realistic stuff going on. I'm sorry, man. Everybody want to make a fucking rap CD or say, man, guess what, baby? Keep your eyes out on me. I'm gonna go throw a football. Like, listen, we need some actual builders, man.
Okay, look, I'm gonna defend those because I have to say, in my first marriage, I lived in a penthouse in the Bay Area. And he made music videos and did music producing. So I think that it's possible, y'all. It's just rare. Okay. He's got to have a real job too. If he's not pulling that money like that and not able to support himself and his household just making music. Unless you're willing to pay for his dream, and that's fine. Like, to each their own. But defend the artists in the room.
Listen, key word was I used to do a little bit of entertainment. You better have a side hustle before you take on that type of entertainment or any kind of frolicking. Let's just call it entertainment skill. You have to have a side hustle or a damn good supportive system. I gotta be real with a lot of you men. I told this to my cousin when he wanted to start selling CDs. What is your other job? Well, I make music. So what does your girl do? Oh, yeah, she works at, you know what I'm saying, she works at a call center. I said, bro, you got to find a job. You can't put everything on that woman. Because when things get hard and fall under, and the way you're having sex with her, somebody is going to get pregnant. So for 9 months, you're not going to tell me selling CDs out of Wendy's drive-thru is going to support you and that baby and that girl. I'm sorry. It's not. So we need to be realistic. Some of y'all men, I'm telling y'all, the best thing for some of y'all we need to start doing is abstaining ourselves and building up our resources. That A word, abstaining, a lot of men don't like. That's like saying Freddy Krueger around some of us. Y'all can't abstain yourself from sex. And if she's a woman like, oh, you don't want to have sex with me, what does that say about her? But if a woman gets offended because you don't want to fuck her because, oh, so you're not interested in me? No, baby. Maybe I just want to build something. Maybe I'm trying to get, listen, I told you, 8 years. It took 6 to 8 years. I am now successful with 2 businesses. 2 businesses. My woman's goddamn purses cost $300 to $400 a piece. That does not even include the goddamn wallet. We didn't always have that type of lifestyle. But damn it, guess what she does now because I busted my ass. Y'all can have that too. My kids, they eat well. What happens when your kids or your family get sick? It costs money. Y'all need to understand, man, these things, when we talk about relationships, for sickness and health, when that medical bill hits you, you can't just keep trying to pull out that Medicaid card, but Medicaid don't cover every goddamn thing. Y'all get mad at y'all. You know why some of y'all get mad about this woman getting her hair done, but you can't afford it? I'm sorry. I'm gonna say it right now. Y'all, I'm gonna say it like it is. If you don't like the woman who gets her hair done, imagine a woman who is natural. Do you know it costs more to keep up with natural hair than actual fake hair? Irene, did they know that?
Oh, no, but I'm going to tell you, a high quality conditioner is not cheap.
I see, some of y'all don't know that. See, I know this about women. Keeping up with my daughter's natural hair, and Irene's seen them both, the twins, plus also their mother, they all have natural hair. You're going to spend money versus fake hair. No matter what, if you want your woman to look good, it's going to cost money. Unless you like your woman to look like shit from a dumpster, then hey, have at it, bro. I don't hold you. But the same thing, my woman won't let me go out looking like a bum. I be trying to. I just be throwing on sweatpants, some sneakers, and a t-shirt. She be getting angry. I'm like, who I got to impress? I'm married. I don't got shit to impress anymore. But she's like, baby, just put on the cargo pants. Put on the t-shirt. You know how y'all women are when y'all want us to dress a certain damn way because we going out and shit. Now we all got to match and shit just to go see your damn parents. Like, I'm like, come on, man. I just want to wear some sweatpants. It's just your mama. She don't even like me. But, you know, it is what it is. But the thing about it is you pay for good quality. Let me say it like this. You pay for quality. Any of y'all ever heard of that? You pay for quality? I'm going to let Irene expunge on why it is important to pay for quality women.
So I don't like your wording, but
I forgot.
But this is what
Irene,
I would say.
they're still a human. They're still a human. Don't worry. It's not prostitution.
Let me say this. Okay. So first of all, I want to address something that who said it? That Dennis said about promiscuity wouldn't be frowned upon if men were insecure. Look, promiscuity needs to be frowned upon because people don't want diseases, okay, out here in this world. People having sex with a whole bunch of people is just actually nasty. Like, and this is not a judgment call on morality. It's like literally disgusting. You don't know what they do with themselves. There's no way you can know enough about tons and tons of people to be sure they're taking care of their bodies. The people that they're having tons of sex with aren't dirty as all get up. Do you know what I mean? So
right.
Having sex with tons of people, it's not about insecure. I mean, it could be for some people, but it's for me, it's about the fact that that's gross. That's like a way to care for yourself. And I care for myself and my body. I'm not trying to get the clap, gonorrhea, chlamydia. I'm not trying to have a yeast infection because the last chick you had sex with had one. I don't want herpes. I don't want AIDS. I don't want the juices from 30 other women inside of me. I don't want my mouth touching your mouth and your mouth has been, all in somebody else's vagina. And then I'm giving you a kiss. That is very nasty. So not promoting and not appreciating and not respecting promiscuity in your mate is not just about insecurity. It's nasty, y'all. It's gross. And I don't know why we don't understand that. Like, it's actually literally unsanitary.
Irene, do you know how many black people have trichomoniasis? Yeah, y'all know what trichomoniasis is?
Yes, it's running rampant, especially.
And guess what? It's undetectable when they do tests. They have to specifically be looking for it. It's a parasite. It lives in you.
Nasty. And that's what I'm saying, y'all. This is not about anything other than it's literally gross. So that's why I would say don't do it. If nothing else, just care about your body and your personal health. You know what I'm saying? Women, you have a cervix. Like, one man could do a lot of damage to your cervix. What are 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 men going to do to yours? Like, you know what I mean? Like, we have to just be careful about our bodies just in general, I think is just important. So I think it's not that. So to talk about quality, this is what I will say. If a man, you have to know this about your women. Men and women are not the same. I know when a woman becomes pregnant after she bears a child, if she's going to be nursing, if you're going to be homeschooling, and raising your children in a certain way, and you meet your woman and she's carrying herself a certain way, then you're going to have to know that, yes, there's a cost to that. Do you know what I mean? There's going to be a cost to that hair that smells so nice and is so soft. There's a cost to her body and her skin being, soft and touchable. There's a cost to her always looking presentable, just like there's a cost to you as a man. My man goes and gets his hair done up almost twice a week. There's a cost to that. Do you know what I mean? So if he wants me to walk out of the house and look presentable to represent him, then, clothing is not free. You know what I'm saying? So those things that we do have to consider when you have a child, like, and this is just about life in general. And I think we have to recognize that a lot of times, if your woman is like, I want to go get a mani-pedi, and you're like, $60, I don't wear fake nails. So, $60 for, the paraffin treatment, for the nails, for the toes, like that's too much. But you're going to be upset if, her fingers are jagged and her feet are crusty well, it's like, which one do you want? If I'm saying I go get a body wrap and a body scrub once a month, that's why my skin feels so amazing. But then you want my skin to continue to feel amazing as I manage affairs and things like that, but you don't think that spa trip for $150 a month is worth it. Well, the thing is that have all these conversations ahead of time. I like designer purses, okay? My man and I went to Hermes and he about fell the hell out. Because he was like, he's like, these purses are too expensive. We had to have a talk where he was like, literally, after a certain price point, you can only have one purse a year for your birthday. But that's a conversation that we had, right? That's a conversation that we had because that's a limitation that he has because he feels that's a frivolous, it's frivolous to spend money in that way.
Them prices get really expensive.
Those purses, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. Those purses get very expensive. So what I'm saying is that understand that you want to vet your woman, and if you like a woman's presentation, then you take on that when you take on that woman. So then don't get into your feelings about it, or choose a woman who has a different presentation, because or that is willing to modify herself. Like I had to modify myself in a lot of ways for the man that I have now, right? Because there's some stuff that I will do that he doesn't allow me to do, that he thinks are wasteful, and so I cannot do anymore. But these are conversations that we had ahead of time. So again, this goes back to you get what you are looking for. And this is why vetting is so very important, so that you can hash these things out. So you can have these conversations and determine, is this the right person for you, and not waste your time, because we don't get that time back, people. That time and energy and investment you put in a person, you cannot recoup that. So you might as well make the best use of your time so that you're getting the highest quality people and the most compatible people to you. Because a person could be wonderful, but they may not be for you. Do you know what I mean? I know a lot of good guys who are not for me. I know a guy right now who's flipping amazing, but his conversation bores me to the dirt. I mean, he is a jock, and that's cool, and he's really sweet, and he's a hard worker and all that. But that's a dude I could never date. I can never be in a relationship with, because I need to be mentally stimulated. You know, I know a lot of guys right now that are very gentle and sweet and nice. And I like gentle and sweet and nice, but I also like order and discipline. Do you know what I mean? So those are not dudes for me. You know, but how would you know that if you don't have these conversations? If we're quick to just rush into bed with people or pick people based on how, if we find them attractive or if their bank account matches our lifestyle. We have to have deeper conversations than that, so that we are getting honestly what we want and what we need, and we can have successful partnerships. I think that is essential.
Well said, Irene. I could tell you right now, in climbing up in corporate America, and especially in my military lifestyle, I have come across a lot of beautiful and exotic women. And Irene hit on something that's very key for a lot of you men. And I want us to take this to heart. Just because it's pretty to the eye does not mean it's a prize. Just because she looks glamorous does not mean that she is smart in the head. I'm pretty sure Irene sat down with a few girls at the table. When women talk, it's like, ooh, this one is stupid. Like, why did he marry her again? Because we got to ask the question. I met some women you look nice, but their attitude is disgusting. And they're very disrespectful. And I see a lot of us good men, we want that woman that looks nice, but is the attitude and the discipline with the money and how she treats you and the children, is it worth it? Y'all can learn. What do we learn from Scottie Pippen? He had a beautiful woman, but how many times did she cheat on him? Multiple times. And not even with the dude who was as successful as him. And the thing about it was, we as men, we need to vet. We need to have a standard that, listen, I'm not going to break my fortitude as a man. I told you, men, we thrive in order and discipline. Women need to be disciplined. But she needs to be a woman who wants to be disciplined under your order. Irene didn't feel no shame. She said, listen, My man, he told me, okay, I can have one purse. There is no type of, and listen, I'm gonna tell a lot of you brothers, man, we need to stop trying to shame our women in public. Y'all stop that shit, man. Stop that. There's nothing cool about shaming your woman and disrespecting her in public. A lot of y'all men, I'm telling you, that shit gets old because when you disrespect her, other people think that's the green card to disrespect her. The same thing for y'all women. Don't y'all be disrespecting y'all doggone man in public or shaming him in front of y'all guests. That's not how it works. I don't shame my woman in front of my company. I am a man. I will protect her honor. I don't know how some of y'all get down when y'all say, yeah, that's my bitch. What the fuck? You can't feel no type of way.
What?
When some, and listen, because y'all see what happened. Y'all saw what happened to Beyonce. Mind you, look who they started calling her bitch. She started calling her bitch. Now all of a sudden you got different other people calling her bitch. Now Jay-Z's like, oh wait, I didn't see this shit coming. But y'all, you didn't have no problem calling her bitch on stage. So now, and y'all got to think, we're taking it down. Well, that's just Beyonce and them. That don't happen to us. Yes, it does. That's why Irene was laughing, because that does happen to women. When y'all let your significant other should never disrespect you. And it should never, like I said, I'm not going to say we don't get into arguments. It happens. It does happen. But the thing about it is, listen, when mine start to argue, I don't say nothing. I let her talk. I'm not weak because I'm letting her talk. I'm just letting her say what the hell she got to say, and I listen to the key points. We need to talk about the art of arguing. Like one day I'm gonna do a talk about the art of arguing.
Hey, well, okay. A couple of people are asking in the chat. A couple of people brought this up. Why should you have to pay for the maintenance of your wife? Let me be clear. You don't have to pay for the maintenance of your wife. If you and your wife work out a different arrangement, then that's you and her, right? There's no rules to this. But let's be realistic. And I don't know how you plan to run your household. For me, after a woman gives birth, she's not going to be working for a minute. And in my household, that baby is breastfed until the age of 1 or 2. That child is homeschooled. So if you plan to have that kind of household, then you're probably, I mean, she could do things. And I know women who are entrepreneurial from inside of the home. But in every woman's life, if she bears children, there's going to come a time when the man is going to be a provider and the sole provider, because we are not the same. And don't bring up feminism on my channel, because you guys know I'm not pro-feminism. I'm not with the feminist agenda, and I don't care about how they move or what their philosophies are.
They think that's a feminist?
Well, they're like, in a feminist society, you know, Dark Prophet was like, in a feminist society, well, how could we even talk about that? This is not the feminism channel. I'm not a feminist. I don't care about feminists and the weird stuff they do. They don't even like men, so they shouldn't be reproducing and dealing with men anyway. This is Irene Yvette's channel. And on Irene Yvette's channel, y'all know that I'm a traditionalist. So what I speak of comes from a traditional view of a relationship. And so where I come from, you bear a child, you breastfeed that child, and then you homeschool that child. So the man is going to be the person who's going to be doing the other work that the woman is not doing. I have my set of work to do as a woman, and my man has a set of work to do as a man, and we aren't the same, and what we're doing is not the same. Now, if you set up your household different and you have a more modern household where you and your woman are both like men and you guys do the same stuff, you know, to each their own. That wouldn't be a household I would personally be living in, because I'm a traditionalist. And so that's not how I move. So like I said, when I talked about my personal standards, these are what I did for myself. Okay. This is some new stuff that I created because I'm with my man. I changed and modified my standards for my man's rules and what his regulations were going to be. And we came to an agreement on that. And every individual has to come to an agreement on that in their personal space and what is going to work for you. But as far as the feminist agenda and all that, I don't vibe with feminists. I'm not a feminist. I don't agree with that mess. You know, you guys know I don't agree with that kind of stuff. So I feel like nothing that I say has any relation to and is no way relevant to the feminist agenda and what they're doing. Because those are different kind of women. That's not the kind of woman I am. What is that?
Let me hit on this. Let me hit on this. I see where I know what you're talking about. The art and the era that we talk about is of a different time. Because in the era what I grew up in a time where my dad would buy my mom a vehicle. He would buy her coats, dresses, things that you can have a snack too, baby. He would buy her stuff because that's what he wanted to see on his woman's body. Again, this is why I tell y'all, men thrive in order. Women want discipline. She's literally telling you the game to a successful relationship. Because when you're providing, you are maintaining. When women see you cannot maintain, it is an issue. This is why you vet. You vet accordingly to your budget. Some of y'all cannot afford a woman like Irene. Okay? Irene is not a woman for every man's budget. Mimi is not a woman for every other man's budget. She had a lot of men, a lot of dope boys, a lot of boys, lawyers, and people chasing after her. She chose the man who was military, martial artist, comedian, well-traveled world, nerd / geek. Because I fit her criteria. The thing about it is I like seeing her wear nice shoes. I told her, my woman back then, she used to wear sweatpants and jogging clothes and workout clothes. After a while, I said, you know, babe, I like for you to start wearing dresses. She said, really? I said, yeah. Every morning when she does her hair, she said, would you like me to grow my hair out? Or would you like me to cut it? A woman will ask her man those types of questions because she wants to see him happy. She wants to give him that enjoyment. Whereas when she sees something and she's like, oh, baby, you don't like this outfit? You'd be surprised what a man will do. And this is not, see, that's why I said, we throw the simping word and the cooning word and a lot of these terms around so loosely, but some of y'all are not even in that career field. Some people don't even know what it takes to manage a household. My grocery bill is $600 damn. But it's like that because I like refined certain types of meat and vegetables for me and my sons to eat because I'm training them in boxing. She understands to prepare those meals. But that's because I trained and told her what I want and I showed her how I want it cooked. She will not eat unless I eat. That is discipline. That's not no type of mind control. She just understands how my heart and my mind work. She is one with me. I will not, if my children and her do not have, I will not take until they have. A lot of y'all want to be called a king, but you don't know how to keep a kingdom going. That's why when I said maintenance, Irene understood exactly what I meant by maintenance, because you want your woman, how your woman is and how she carries herself reflects upon you and how you run your household. Irene, do you agree upon that?
Yeah, I really do. And I want to say this really ties into what we were talking about is a lot of times we are not honest about what we want. Okay. We're not honest about what we want. And so you'll pretend you want a certain type of lifestyle. And then when it gets into the sort of details of what it takes to have that lifestyle or that sort of family, you're like, oh, I don't want that. Why do I have to do that? Why does it have to be that way? You know what I mean? But I think a lot of this is because society has taught us that women shouldn't bear children. women shouldn't be homemakers. Men shouldn't be leaders. They shouldn't be breadwinners. Like, a society has told us that the traditional roles we played are problematic. And so we seem to get this weird thing in our head where we kind of want a beautiful woman who listens to us and is a freak in the bed and always looks amazing and da 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 da. But we don't want anything that comes with the creation of that. That part we don't want. And somebody said Irene is not a spring chicken. And I hope that you will remember that. I am old as hell. So listen to me, because I have life experience. That's my whole point with you people, is that a lot of you guys are young enough to be my children. And you'll be in the chat trying to dispute what I'm saying. But who has more sense? Me, who's bore a child your age, or you? So yes, I'm not a spring chicken, which is all the more reason, as your elder, very likely, that you should just listen to what I'm saying to you. Because maybe I have more sense about this than you do. Maybe I have more life experience than you do. Maybe I am coming from reference points that you have not yet experienced. And a lot of times it's better to learn from other people's experience and knowledge and skill sets than it is to have to go through stuff on your own. I think a lot of people run into problems with relationships because they are disingenuous. They don't analyze themselves as people. They have standards that are not reflective of each other. Do you know what I mean? They want to have sex quickly, but they want a woman with a low body count. They want a woman who looks amazing, but they want to do nothing to support that amazing look. They want kids, but they're going to be mad about paying daycare and having to take time off of work and sacrifice for the kids. They want a family, but somehow they want to be able to completely avoid all of the leadership things that come with the family. Like, a lot of times, what our expectations are and who we are and what we deserve at the mental state and the responsibility level and the growth as a person we are and the things that we want, a lot of times there's a disconnect there, and that's why in my description I said being introspective. The first step is to be introspective and to be honest about what you want, and to understand that you have the ability to author who you meet and what your relationships are like, but only as much as it actually is pragmatic and logical and doable. This isn't a fantasy. So there are some things that come in line with desires we may have. It's like you may want a Porsche, like just a physical object. Let me just put it in some terms you guys can understand. You may want a Porsche, but then you're going to be mad that you have to save money and miss a few trips in order to save money for the Porsche. You're going to be mad that the Porsche needs to be insured. You're going to be mad that the maintenance on the Porsche is high. You're going to be mad, you know what I'm saying, that somebody's going to ding your car when you park in the parking lot, but you want a Porsche. Do you know what I'm saying? But you want the Porsche. You just don't want anything that comes along with obtaining and maintaining what you want. So you don't really want a Porsche. You want a Toyota. You want a Maserati. Not a Maserati. I don't know about cars. That's probably a nice car. It sounds like it's nice.
That is a really nice car.
Okay, sorry. You want I don't know. What's a cheap car? I don't know any cheap cars. But listen.
Toyota, a Geo Metro.
Okay, you want a hatchback of some kind. Those are always ugly. Maybe you use hatchback you paid $1,000 for. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, what do you really want? And let's be realistic about this life. You want a wife, but you want a chick you can pick up on the street. You want a wife and a high quality woman, but you're at the club. Do you know what I'm saying? Like trying to pick up a woman, and then you're going to feel salty when that goes wrong. You marry a woman that you picked up off the street, lied to you all the time, wouldn't let you meet her family. You don't know her whole life story. Do you know what I'm saying? You slept with her on the first date.
And she get pregnant.
Right. You had 2 kids with her, and then she turns out and drags you for the filth in court, and you're like, I don't know what happened. What happened? What happened is that you picked the wrong one. Why did you pick her up in the club and give her 2 kids and then put a ring on her finger? Do you know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm saying, like, a lot of times we're disingenuous about what we want. And as women, you want a man that's going to be nice to you. You want a man that's financially secure. You want a man that wants children. But then you're going to go for the bad boy who's going to ask you to get 6 abortions and who treats you like crap. And then you want to be in a corner cowering and crying somewhere talking about, oh, this man's so evil. He popped me upside my head. He told me to get an abortion. He's never nice to me. He's always telling me I'm ugly and this and that is wrong with me. Well, then why did you pick that dude? Clearly, that's what you want. Do you know what I'm saying? So we have to be introspective as men and women and decide, what do we really want? What is the cost of that? Count the cost of having what we want, and then reset and reevaluate our actions and behaviors and our mindset to be conducive to pulling that, be it a man or a woman. In my not a spring chicken opinion, in my old woman, done this before successfully, doing this successfully now. Do you know what I'm saying? Not out here having sex with a whole bunch of people, just being a married woman opinion.
Let me give y'all a little secret. Let me give you a little youthful secret to how you keep. But a lot of y'all say one of the things that gets thrown at Irene is, wow, how does she stay beautiful? How does she look young? Would you believe that costs maintenance, time, a low body count? Like, you could have a woman that's literally, and mind you, and Irene will tell you, I was the one that came up with this topic, not her. I was the one that said, Irene, I want to do this topic. Did I not, Irene? Did I not come to you about this?
Yeah, you did.
That was a man actually said, let's do this topic. And she said, yeah, I agree. We need to do this topic. That's how serious that. Understand this. We're not no rookies at this. We want to see more successful people. We don't want to see y'all go to court. We don't want to see y'all get railroaded. We don't want to see y'all go down to the welfare department or the STI clinic or have that one day you find out. Listen, I literally had to console a young man because he told his girl that let's go to a menage a trois. Now, if some of y'all don't know what a menage a trois is, that's a sex orgy. And in them doing that, guess what? She found out she's pregnant. But what that's not the worst thing. She also is positive with HIV. There were 40 people there. How many other black people there also had HIV? But guess what? He has it too. Do y'all not understand the game now? You know how old they are? 22 years old apiece. And she's pregnant. This is no game for some of y'all. I'm not telling y'all how to live your life. I've done some pretty stupid things myself. So has Irene. But one thing I learned is if I listen to my elders and learn from their mistakes, that's less mistakes I have to worry about making. My grandma would always say, a hard head makes a soft behind. If you don't want to listen, hey, turn off this channel. There's other channels where people telling you how to get ass, how to suck some good dick. Y'all can go follow the Jill Scott damn challenge and shit. But don't come back to this video and say, whoa, nobody told me. These are the serious topics. Like, again, the black community, we want to be taken serious. But then when this shit happened, you can't say, well, it's the white man's fault. No. Nobody told you to lay down with that chick. Nobody told you to get with the dude. Mind you, I got to do a story about a girl, about a black psychologist that got with a man who is known to beat his wife. He beat his ex-wife. She got with him, even though she's his psychologist. He killed her. Women, understand, you cannot change this ain't shit nigga with your vagina. You cannot. Men, you cannot take can't take the whorish ways out of the female because you're a good dude and you got money. It don't work like that. This is not some kind of Disney Channel fake make-believe stuff. It takes time and work. Me and Mimi, we had problems. But luckily, we talked about stuff. I'm tired of hearing y'all brothers talk about, oh, wait, I didn't know she had a baby daddy who was abusive. Now you got to deal with that. But if you had asked the questions, you would have known that. That's why whenever I see a woman with a child, I said, where is the father in his life? What is the relationship y'all have? I'm pretty sure Irene's husband had to ask her that question, as he should. Same thing for me. When I thought I had an illegitimate child out there, I had to fess up and tell mine. Now that gave her the choice to find out, do I need to pursue this or not? Y'all need to stop trying to lie and try to keep things in the dark. That's what be fucking up a lot of y'all relationships. Y'all be thinking that, well, maybe if I don't tell them, you know what I'm saying, that woman or that man or that baby might just go away. No. Let them know. Let them decide. If they say they want to help you, they'll help you. That's only if they agree. But don't try to shame them. Oh, because I got 4 kids with 2 different women means you don't want to be. Well, you made that choice. You might want to start wearing protection before you have sex with this woman. Brothers, we gotta start being smart.
Sir, like that's a novel idea.
I'm just saying.
I feel like people shouldn't have sex with people, and everybody knows I feel this way. I feel like you don't have sex with people if you don't want their child, because you always run the risk. Condom or no condom, birth control or no birth control, you always run the risk when you have sex of getting somebody pregnant. And so, or getting pregnant if you're a woman. And
or
so
getting an STI also. You already know that's good.
So you open yourself up to that. So you have to think about that before you share your body with the person. You are accepting all the risks that come along with it. And I think that we don't think about that before we have sex. We think about being horny. We think about being wet, being hard. We're thinking about all that kind of stuff. We're not thinking about the realistic adult part of it. Do you know what I mean? Like all the things that come with that choice. Then when our head hits the wall because the person gets knocked up because you have a disease, then we feel some kind of way. We want to cry foul, but there's no foul because you went to the party, so you wanted to play the games. Do you know what I mean? You were with it. You're with it. And so we have to be adults and responsible. And Dark Prophet has been saying, I haven't answered his question. So let's address his question because I keep missing them. He said his first question was, how do you expect a man to get a black woman if they feel too inferior for a good black man or dump on simps? And he said that women don't work like how I say anymore. So I'm going to answer that first and then you answer it. So first of all, let me say this. Every woman, right? Every woman is not an option to date, and every man is not an option to date. Every woman is not an option to marry. Every man is not an option to marry. So I feel like a person who has a high value for themselves is going to feel comfortable with a good man. Just to answer your question, my man is my superior. He is my superior. He's intellectually my superior. He's just an all-around better person than me, just straight up. There are some things I am better at than him, but like as a whole individual, he's just a better person. I felt like, man, he's so great. I don't deserve him. But you see that I'm with him. But I like feeling like that because I, as a woman, want to be with my superior. That's what I'm looking for. If I'm going to have a leader, I want my leader to be better than me, smarter than me, more advanced and more grown as a human being than me, right? That's what I'm looking for. So I don't think that there's anything wrong with that because women aren't like men. Men don't want to be with their superior. Why? Because, dude, he's got to lead you. If you're the superior in all things, who's going to have to lead who? It wouldn't make sense for the student to be leading the teacher. So I don't really see a problem with that. I think it's interesting that in your mind, there will be a problem with that. As far as not wanting a simp, if a woman wants a mean dude, let me tell you something, women. When you're attracted to a bad boy, and I talked about this in my Vetting Male Authority video, please separate liking leadership and masculinity from wanting a jerk. My man is a good, sweet, considerate man, but he's also very masculine, he's very controlling, y'all. He's a rule setter, and all of that. But the thing is, I am at an age where I know how to have a healthy outlet for the part of me that is masochistic, right? Women, we have a masochistic sort of side to us, so I know how to speak about that. And that's why I said introspection is useful, because I will sit down and I'll be like, okay, I'm a traditionalist. I'm going to want to homeschool. I need healthy power exchange. Like, I like men that are very dominant. I like structure. Like, I can think for myself, but I really like structure and order. I don't like to be able to step out of line, because I'll try it. Do you know what I mean? But I don't feel comfortable in a position where a man will let me run all over him. But I need love, right? I need hugs and attention and gentleness. I like kindness. I don't want to be called names. I don't want to be with that dude that's going to call me out of my name. That will make me unhappy. So I will have those conversations. I had those conversations, right, with my man prior to us being together. I was transparent. What do you like in the bedroom? This is what I need to feel satisfied in the bedroom, right? This is what I'm going to need. This is what I can provide. This is what my limitations are. Having those conversations. Do you know what I'm saying? And
Yes.
and in that, I think you will find what women are or aren't the way I'm describing. Are all women how I'm speaking? No, because women are individuals, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is that you're not looking for all women. You're not looking for all men. You're looking for the woman that is suited to you. You're looking for the man that's suited to you. Every man is not suited for me. Every woman is not suited for you. That's just the reality. So it's not about what all women are or are not. It's about recognizing that you can't run through everything that you like. You need to be looking for the one individual that is right for you. Everybody is not going. Most people aren't going to be right for us. Y'all, this is the real world. Most people aren't going to be for you. Could you mesh with them? Could you have sex with them? Could you hang with them for a little bit? Yes. Could you build a successful relationship and life with them? No. No, because there's just not a plethora of people that are suited for you. So that's why we have to be valuing of ourselves, introspective about what we are and what we need. And then we have to look for the people that are suited for us and make our standard for our relationship. This person must be suited for me. This person must meet my needs, and I must meet their needs, right? Because if you can't meet their needs either, because there's some men I passed on because I can't do it. You know what I mean?
Right.
I had a man that I loved, and I had to shake the spot. Why? Because he wanted to be poly, and I could. That was something I recognized under him I couldn't do. So I had to shake the spot. We were compatible in a lot of other ways. A whole lot of passion there, a whole lot of lust, a whole lot of compatibility on a power exchange scale. But he wasn't a good leader. Especially not wanting to be with more than one woman. He wasn't a good leader. So that was not the man for me. I think sometimes we have to figure out who is for us and know when to shake the spot, when this is not the person for me. And so that would be my response to you, Dark Prophet, is that there's nothing wrong with your woman looking at you as a superior or as somebody she feels unworthy of. That's a beautiful thing. But if it's healthy, right? If it's not coming from a low self-esteem place, but as a I look up to you place. I look up to my man. I look up to him. I admire him. That's a healthy place. And I also think all women don't think like me or how I'm saying, because all women aren't me. But you're not looking for Irene. Irene's got a man. You're looking for the person that is suited to you. And so that would be my answer to your two questions.
Okay. I'm gonna tell you, young brother, that as a man, it is our job to lead. I'm gonna tell you right now, one of the biggest issues that we're having right now is a lack of leadership from a man household. Now, the masculinity and dominance of a man is a beautiful and a powerful thing. And you can't forsake that. I remember one time I was so caught up in my work and what I was doing. My woman came to me and she said, "You have not touched me or had sex with me in 2 to 3 days. Now, I'm like, okay, but I forgot that is one of my responsibilities. I forgot that she's human too. She has urges too. And you got to understand, first off, if you want to find a woman that's for you, you shouldn't have to go out of your way. Don't go out of your way to find. I try to tell a lot of men listening, say if you're in a career field and you work late nights or something like that, sometimes you got to go to familiar places where you feel comfortable. And you look for people with similar like-minded interests. Now, let's say, hey, I know for some brothers, especially for some black men, if you start climbing up the ladder, you don't see as many black women in certain fields. It's okay. That means the woman who does get to that field or get into that type of area is more worthy. Y'all hear me? She's more worthy because she's working. She's actually busy. Find people with similar interests, same energy. Do not find somebody that does not share the same interest or have the same type of taste like you, because then you're going to find yourself yielding and balancing to her power. So now you're already off the scale of your manhood. Don't let, and this ain't nothing to get you women, but listen, if she ain't got your last name, you don't need to be bound down to her will. That's a problem a lot of you men are having. I'm not going to ask a woman to follow me unless she's willing to be under me and under my stewardship and my teachings. That is the law of being a man. You can go to any traditional background that has lasted for thousands of years. The man runs the household. Now, y'all can try and pull out some villages in Africa where the woman's in charge. That's very rare. And we see how many times those things get ransacked by people. Listen, women need protecting. Most of all, sometimes from themselves. Let me tell you a little trick. I don't think y'all caught it from Irene. Sometimes a woman will purposely see what she can get away with her man. Mine likes to do that same crap from time to time. Joe, guess what? I'm going to go buy this new outfit. The hell no, you ain't. Bring your ass back in this damn house. Now, me saying that to her, some of y'all be like, oh, hell no. That just reaffirmed my balance and control in the household as a man. Women like that. If she is under you, she likes that. But she knows that, listen, my man don't play no crap. Believe it or not, but that is a turn on to a woman. But she knows her man is not easily shaken. Yes, you may be married or you may be in a relationship with your woman, but if she knows she can push you around, you have a problem. From time to time, the lioness will check her lion and see, will he let me pull his tail long enough? What shit can I get away with? As the man, it is our job to say, hold up, I love you, baby. But that outfit, you ain't going out that house with that outfit. That's for me to see, not for the guy out there in the street. Change your clothes. Go back upstairs. If she truly believes in you and trusts what you say, she's not. Well, she might put up a little lip, pop her on her behind, and she'll go upstairs. She'll change. But understand this. That is because you built a discipline in the home for her, and she also will administer it down to your children and your seeds when you're gone. They will understand that, listen, there are rules. Your father set rules in this home. We will keep them even when he's not there. When daddy gets home, you will answer to him just like I have to. I'm not sure if some of y'all ever heard that saying, but wait till your father gets home. When you hear that, you know it's trouble. Because he's the lawgiver. Mama's just a nurturer. Now, mama can do so much. But she understands when daddy gets home, that's it. Now, I don't have to really tell my kids as much. If I got to, they already know that's a big problem. My voice alone is power. And that's how it should be in my home. That's how it got to be. What happened, Irene?
So Dark Prophet, he said I misrepresented his question. I guess he said he was saying for women who have an actual like inferiority complex, or women who actually have an inferiority complex where they just have, I guess, low self-esteem. But I don't know. Like Dark Prophet, I told you my answer is going to be that's not the chick for you. If you're not up for a project, every woman doesn't have to be perfect, but if you're not down, if like part of your, passion is not fixing your partner, if you're not that person, because some dudes are that person where they'll see like potential in somebody, kind of like a fixer-upper house, I see there's a good structure there and I'm ready to do the work.
Let me take this, but I had to deal with that. My lady, she believe as beautiful as she was, and I'm gonna tell you, y'all guys are not gonna believe this. Some women can be so beautiful, but to them, they don't think they match up enough. Or put it like this: some women are really smart or have a lot going for themselves. They don't get approached by men because of how they are. So to them, they wonder like, why won't a man come up to me? Now, the thing about it is, this is when you need to reaffirm their strength. This is when you need to start saying, listen, baby, you look beautiful. Put this on. Compliment her. Grab her by her waist, by the slim of her waist and pull her close to you. Hold her in the mirror. You know what I'm saying? Put your hand across her head. You got to do some stuff to your woman to make her feel like, listen, the hell with everybody else saying. And if you just now starting to talk to her, do little things that you notice that she only does to make her feel like, listen, in my eyes, what you do does matter. I know that my girl, she likes a certain chicken spot that opens up. I used to take her there to go get some waffle fries. She's like, wait, I didn't know you knew about this place. I said, well, it took me 45 minutes to find it, but I found it. That meant a lot to her because I went out of my way to do that so that way she will be happy. Sometimes y'all gotta understand, man, the mental state for a lot of our women, especially in our community, is really at a critical low. This is a serious topic that I didn't know it was gonna get like this, but it is. Some women don't think that they're wife material anymore. Did y'all know that? Some men say, yo, all I'm gonna be is just, a swinger. I'm just gonna swing dick. We're in real bad shape, y'all. This is why this is important. This is why I grabbed a ring. This is why I said, yo, I don't want to do it with any single people. I want to do it with people when we have homes. To tell y'all that it can be done. Dark, listen. You hold that woman and you look her in her eye and say, listen, baby, it don't matter what the world says. It matters that I care about you and I see that you can be so much more. Stay with me and we'll walk to our promised land. Sometimes the woman just wants to know, do I have that foundation to stand on? If you're a solid ground and you built yourself up right, brother, she will support you. You'd be surprised. Like I try to tell y'all, don't be trying to fit the world's narrative. Sometimes I just pop my woman on her behind before she go out the door. Sometimes she like that little text message like during the day. Like I'm not sure how many of y'all get text messages. I ain't know. Probably Irene. She probably get 10,000 text messages. Who knows? But sometimes when y'all send them that little text message or some stuff, like I know y'all was saying like one person they will send their mate mathematical problems. Me and mine, we be sending dirty sexual jokes and stuff to each other or talking nasty. Like I can't put that stuff on YouTube. I'll probably be back in Pornhub jail again. But we be putting all kinds of stuff out there. But you got to make her feel like, listen, baby, I like you. You ain't going nowhere, but you going to be with me. Now, when you start saying stuff like that, they're like, oh, word? You like that? You thinking like that? Yeah. Yeah. I pay for her nails and her feet to get done. I want to see my woman look sexy. But that's me. Some of y'all gotta understand, don't listen to all these damn movements. Most of these people who are in these movements and all this crazy shit, they don't got nobody. I see a lot of these women out here marching, but they ain't got no damn man. I see a lot of these dudes out here preaching and telling y'all about how women are, but ain't had no damn woman serve them a plate but their mama since Thanksgiving. Like, y'all gotta start. Go ahead.
So, Wait, Strum, is that your name?
Strum?
Strum?
We're gonna go with that.
Your name is hard. Okay, because I've never heard you say it. So I was saying, I raise my children, I shouldn't have to raise my woman. Let's be clear. This is not about raising a woman, right? This is about being a leader. And so that's why that goes back to my original response to what Dark Prophet said. That may not be the woman for you. If you feel you're only willing to accept a person that has no flaws and has no issues that you're going to have to work with them on, then that's the person you need to find. Some people are more flexible, but make no mistake, everybody comes with their own baggage. And so men and women, we all come with something. And the purpose of a partnership, and that's why I said a lot of y'all don't really want to be in a relationship with anybody. When you're in a relationship with somebody, you aren't just taking the good parts about them, you're taking the bad parts about them. And just as you love and try to improve and grow yourself, that should be your goal, to help that other person love, improve, and grow themselves. That is being loving. That is caring about somebody. That's what we do when we love a person in any kind of relationship. So some people aren't suited to be in intimate relationships with other people, not just sexual relationships, even a friendship. Some people are not meant to be friends with people. Do you know what I mean? Because they're not trying to contribute anything. They want a ready-made package that just contributes to them. You know what I'm saying? And there's some low self-esteem man or woman out there who will do nothing but completely sit their self to the side and just worship and cater to you, and you never have to worry about if they ever have a problem, issue, or a dysfunction that needs to be worked through. But I'm going to tell you, somebody in that relationship is getting the bad end of the deal, but there's somebody there who will tolerate it. So what we're talking about are healthy relationships, realistic relationships, where you love a person and you either see potential there, or you definitely see potential there, and the levels of work you're willing to do with them. If you're not willing to work with the person who has some issues, that's your prerogative. Don't pick that person. If you are willing to work with that person, the brother is describing how he saw something pre-existing in his wife and he loved her enough to try to do things to help her overcome that. That is loving a person. And let's be clear, you may get into a relationship with somebody and they be solid, and then we know that things happen, and then they develop something they have to overcome. So even if we don't step into it like that, we could end up in that position. And again, it's not about raising people. It is about loving people. We are all traveling a journey. Life is a journey, and we are all traveling this alongside each other. So the judgment on people's level of growth isn't necessary. Just a recognition that people are at different levels of growth. And if you're a person who's not about worrying about the next person, that's fine. But everybody is not like that. Like, some people recognize that, right, we're only as good as our weakest link in any relationship. So we want to see the betterment of ourselves. We want to see the betterment of our partners. That is part of a successful, happy, and healthy relationship. If you can't bring that to the table, you may not be a person that should be in a close, intimate relationship with another person. That's just the reality. Like I said, that's why we are introspective, right? There's nothing wrong with, somebody said earlier, y'all really hate MGTOW. And I was like, no, I don't hate MGTOW. I think it is right for some people to not be in relationships.
Yeah.
That's right.
I don't got no beef with them. I got, actually, so most of my friends are MGTOW. I ain't got no beef with them. Like, shit, I got no beef with them. The female on my panel, she's a black feminist. And I got a pansexual on my panel. So shit, we too damn diverse on my panel. So shit.
Yeah. If different people do different things. But the conversation here, right, is for people that are seeking relationships, do want healthy interactions, do want a level of introspection, right? Introspection is essential to being in a healthy relationship of any kind with another person. There are some people who are just super antisocial and they don't care to get on well with anybody. Well, none of these conversations will help them because they don't care anyway. But everybody's in a different place. Do you know what I mean? And we have to be honest about where we're at and what we're really trying to see out of ourselves. Some people have embraced a certain part of their self and they're comfortable with that. Some people are super negative. They've embraced it. They're just negative. You're not going to stop them. They don't need to hear your positivity. You know, some people have embraced being depressed. Have you ever seen somebody who's sad? And I'm a fixer, right? If you're sad around me, I'm going to try to do what I can to make you feel better. I know some people that don't want you to make them feel better. I don't need you to try to solve it. I don't want to, you know, they just want to be miserable. That's where they're at right there. They want to embrace their misery and they're not trying to have you say anything positive.
Yep.
Everybody's different.
Let me say something about this. About the children thing. This is why I tell a lot of you men, and I hope y'all be listening to what we're trying to tell you. We're trying to tell you how to have a healthy, positive relationship. What to war from. Listen, first of all, whenever you start a family, it's a 50-50 what you put into that child. 50-50. The child is going to look at, is daddy stern and strict, but fair and loving and disciplined? Now, when my child was first born, other than hold it, feed it, you know what I'm saying? Because sooner or later, that woman got to sleep. Now, the thing about it is, for the woman, and me dealing with my woman, she has certain ways on how she dealt with the child. But she understood my rules on how we wanted to raise our child. Not saying that, oh, well, what you say about our child, that shouldn't matter because I'm the man. I didn't say that stupid stuff because she's also the mother. And I also want my child to have both of our positivities, not just me. Again, y'all understand, this is why we're seeing a lot of dysfunctional children because they're not seeing the proper tutelage. Now, as far as it goes for some men, and I get with the brother saying that, listen, I don't want to have to raise my woman while I'm raising my kids. You're right. Again, that goes back to betting. Sometimes you forget when that woman has that baby, she's going to have a thing called postpartum. So you have to mentally help her get back on track. Sometimes they're not going to click right then and there. When mine had the twins, she slit her wrist because she didn't feel adequate enough. This happens with women. They have mental breakdowns. She was cooking a pot of rice and peas and freaked out, and she was too afraid to pick up the baby. Women have these breakdowns when they are close to the brink of death. This is why I tell you men, we have to be firm and disciplined. So when she starts to falter, you step up. You pick up that baby. You know how hard it was for me to pick up a baby covered in my woman's blood and walk my child away and keep my eyes on her saying, look at me. Go back to the house, clean her up, wash her off, bandage her up for the EMS to come get her. These are things that you not say I want you to go through, but these things happen in homes. But luckily, I was a fermented man, and I knew who I was. Where she knew that even though she was getting the help she needed, daddy's home taking care of the children. This is why I tell you, brothers, we are needed in the home. These women can't do it by themselves. It's not easy. Y'all, we got to start stepping up. Listen, if your woman's not doing what you need to sit her down. Hold on. Where you going? Oh, I'm going out with my friends. Isn't it a school night? Your friend should be helping your child with that homework. Let me know, where's your loyalty, to the street or in our home? But that's something that should be handled before y'all started making children. You should not, your woman and your man, your woman and also the men, we need to drop this shit. Well, I'm going to go hang out with my friend. Yeah, you can have some friends, but guess what? My kid was sick today. They had a lymph node infection. Guess where my black behind was at? Home. Y'all didn't see me at all on YouTube yesterday because my home comes first. If Irene's children were sick, she would not be on YouTube right now. Her man said, oh, what the hell? Why are you on YouTube when our kids are sick? You lost your mind? The reason how I know that is because he's a man who thinks with discipline and order like I do. So we understand our home will come first before anything else. And if the person that does not understand home comes first, you need to sit down and have that talk. Where is your loyalty? With me or outside that door? And I know a man who had to do that to his wife. She couldn't handle she wanted to be out there with the street. So he had to say, listen, take your bags and go stay with your brother or your mother. But you're not going to be coming in here late and 3 o'clock in the morning and our daughter and our son are still asleep. He had to kick her out. It took her 2 years, but she came back. So these things do happen. But can you fix it and it's salvageable? Yeah, I said it. It is. I don't want y'all to think that our relationships are perfect. We're not perfect people, but we strive to be perfect in our mate's eyes and the father's eyes. It's just one day at a time, people. I'm passing it right back to Irene.
Yeah, I think that okay. I think that you bring up a lot of good points. And what I will say is that I think what we have to recognize is things are always like, we all know this just from real life, right? We aren't always going to be in extreme sorts of situations, but extreme things do happen because life is real and people experience real things. And ultimately, the goal is to find somebody at base that you, first of all, the first thing is to be introspective, right? To understand ourselves, what our needs are, what our limitations are, what our flaws are, and what our strengths are as people. And once we have a clear picture of ourselves, then we can see clearly to looking into interactions with other people on varying levels. In this conversation, we're talking about a relational level, right? And what you're seeking. So now, mind you, I'm coming from the perspective of we're navigating the world in honesty, right? Because some people navigate the world in deceit, and that's a whole nother story. But we're talking about us that are navigating the world in honesty and in truth, right? So we've been introspective. We understand ourselves. We know our limitations. We know our flaws. We're real about that to ourselves, right? Then we seek to align ourselves with people, both in a romantic or just an interpersonal sense, that don't have to think like us, but where we can be a benefit to them and they can be a benefit to us, right? So we know that we are compatible with these people. So for example, I don't vibe well with negative people. If you're a very negative person, and if you're coming in my space with negativity a lot, that's not a person who I can contribute to them, and they can't contribute to me, right? They're going to pull from me. So I have to fall back from that. If I'm looking for a relationship with somebody, I know that there are things that I need, right? I need structure. I need discipline. I need dominance. I need the opportunity to be feminine. I need the opportunity to be in service. So these are things I know about myself. So then I'm looking for, you know, when I found my man, looking for somebody that needs that from a woman, right? They're looking for somebody that is service oriented. They're looking for somebody that is submissive. They're looking for somebody who has a heart in the home, right? They're looking for that. So when we do that, then if things come up along the way, the foundation is right and we can withstand that, right? We also have to look for people that are like-minded. So in my first marriage, I wasn't raised to get a divorce. So I wouldn't divorce. So there was a period of like 4 years where I didn't date or didn't see anybody, and I was married. Why was I married? Because I just didn't believe in divorce. So even though we technically weren't together, I didn't know what else to do. Now in my new relationship, we have an understanding that divorce is not something that I embrace. So our agreement is that we don't go to bed angry. And we really do this, y'all, because I tried to go to bed angry one night and he checked me. He was like, I thought we agreed we weren't going to go to bed angry. And I was like, and I fixed myself. But see, that's because that's honestly a goal that I had. So I could correct my energy, right? And that we could do better. So that's what I'm saying, but without introspection, right? Without understanding yourself and being honest about who you are and being honest about who you are to other people and being honest about that when you present yourself in a relationship, without the vetting process where we're vetting our partner to make sure that this person is not just representing themselves a certain way, but we're testing that, right? So if a person says, I'm a peaceful person, that's what I'll tell people. I'm a peaceful person, like on the whole. I don't like to argue on the whole. You know what I mean? Not to say that I won't, because when I get nasty, I get very nasty. But that's not my go-to function, right? So then the man's got to be watching me, right? Oh, she's feeling some kind of way. Oh, we're in an argument. My man and I broke up once, and it showed him a lot about me as a person. I was like, okay, this is what I see. I don't appreciate it. What are we going to do here? He told me how he felt. And I was actually on a visit where I was staying at his house. We broke up and hung out in the same house for 2 days. There was no fighting. There was no yelling because I don't vibe that way. It taught him a lot about me as a person, that what I presented about how I carry myself and how I really carry myself are the same. And some months passed and we got back together. Do you know what I mean? And I spoke on the fact that I felt like that was a superficial breakup to me. I don't think every time we don't like each other or we get mad at each other, we need to separate. That was something that he had to work through, because some people are like that, right? When the going gets tough, they get going. Then they want to get back together. See, I don't like those kind of games. I don't play those kind of games. So that allowed us to work through that. And it also gave me an opportunity to vet him and how he works, and for him to vet me and how I react to situations. So all of these things are there and in place so that as you build with a person and you're building that marriage and you're building that family, if obstacles do come in place, you know who you're working with. You know how they function. You know how they react to things. And you know, and they understand who you are as a person. And then there is not room for misunderstandings, right? I told you guys earlier about a misunderstanding in my man's relationship with me, trying to determine whether or not I was there for money and to be spoiled, or if I was there because I was interested in him, because he equated access to my body as the ultimate sign of whether or not I wanted to be with him. Well, y'all see, here I am in this man's house now. Do you know what I mean? So clearly I wanted him, but that conversation had to be had. That situation had to be vetted. So when these things come up, we know what we're working with. There are no surprises. When there's transparency, honesty, and vetting, there are no surprises, because you acknowledge those positive and negative things about people. You know, if you have a vice, be open with that, because at the end of the day, you also want to be accepted for who you are as a whole individual, right? So if somebody's not going to want you because you have baggage, right? Because people are quick to throw the baggage claim like they have no baggage. But if somebody doesn't want you because of your baggage, well, then that's not the person for you. Who cares? Y'all, who cares? Let them go. It's not the one for you. But we have to bring ourselves to the table. And you cannot bring yourself to the table if there's no level of introspection, right? I'm going to bring the bad parts of me and the good parts of me to the table. I'm going to go, this is who I am. I'm a jealous person. I had to bring my jealousy to the table. And I had to be like, look, in all reality, I'm a really jealous person. I'm possessive, jealous and possessive, y'all. I am. I just am. Is it a good quality? Maybe not, but that's how I am. And my man knows that about me. So if I act possessive, dude, you knew what you were getting, Because I told you, it wasn't a joke. When I exposed myself to you and I exposed that that's a flaw I have, you knew that you were getting that. Does that mean that I don't work on that? Sure, I work on it, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? That is the kind of energy that I put out because I want that honesty and that acceptance and that love back. And so that's what we all have to do. And that's why we're talking about, like, what are you really looking for? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I wanted to answer like one of the brothers because now I'm looking in the chat. I really don't read chats, but one of the brothers asked me like, BMT, you do realize, why the MGTOW, and Irene will tell you, I am part of actually I'm part of the manosphere, especially the Negro manosphere. I do understand the issues and the stuff that is going on, especially with us and our women. And I don't want us to keep on having problems. I don't want us to keep on backtracking. I want us to actually be able to move forward. I'm realistic. Every man, every woman can't be saved. I'm never going to tell you that. Irene knows that about me. I'm not trying to tell us all to work together. I'm trying to bet us to get the best of the best for the best that deserve the best. And with that kind of thought process, again, brothers, don't be sharing your semen with every woman. Don't. Same thing for you women. Stop sharing your eggs with every doggone man that says, ooh, you look pretty. Like, we need to really stop this right here. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I don't know about y'all, man, but child support sucks. I'm glad I never was on there, but it's the court that has no pity for you. When you make those mistakes, that judge does not want to hear that. And I'm trying to tell y'all right now, you ain't going to be able to control that woman that does not have no type of care in the world or no feel or no fear for no male authority. There are women out there that do not give a damn for no male authority. I have met some females, fuck a man, I never had a daddy. I don't need no man to tell me how to raise my kids. Like, when you're dealing with that, I'm going to tell y'all right now, you need to back the hell up. That is very dangerous logic. But she just told you, if I'm not going to listen to you, what makes you think I'm going to have my kids listen and follow under you? That's dangerous talk. Irene, I ain't sure she had a talk with some of y'all young girls not to say that stupid stuff, but some of y'all, I've been seeing y'all say that. And for some of y'all men, y'all telling y'all thinking y'all can somehow train that woman that does not respect you and saying, well, I don't care. I'm going to still be with you anyway. Listen, y'all going to pay for it. I seen too many of y'all brothers end up in jail and also in the grave. Y'all need to get with somebody who respects you. Me and my woman have broken up plenty of times. I have stepped out. I have done things. I'm not perfect. Y'all can judge me on that. It's okay. I'm fine with that. I don't mind telling y'all my flaws because guess what? That's between me and her and what goes on in the bedroom. I'm the type of person I give up. She is not a quitter. She has yet given up on me. And because she keeps on pushing me, then I keep on bettering myself and keep on bringing more and more better stuff to the game. There's going to be times like that when that does happen. When I was in the hospital and I was handicapped, she was by my bedside. She picked up the slack. When I got back on my feet, guess what? She was still there. This is why I want you, man. I don't want to see y'all fail. I want to see y'all succeed. But you got to ask yourself, and exactly, I do believe like good morals, they have to be trained, built on. Y'all brothers, please stop trying to settle for stuff or settle for people that you can't, that you think you want but don't need. I'm trying to tell y'all. I heard a man say, "Listen, man, I like that girl, but she don't really like me. But she told me I could hit. I'm gonna get her pregnant." I'm like, no, don't do it. Why are you gonna get her pregnant and she don't even like you like that? Like, sometimes, man, y'all gotta start thinking, man, brother. Stop throwing away your resources and your time for foolishness, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to see y'all. Y'all understand, man. This is why we're failing so badly, and I don't want us to fail. And I'm not trying, and I don't want y'all to think, oh, wait, you're attacking black people. I'm not attacking black people, but we're speaking from a black point of view. I want to see wholesome, strong families. If not that, take the and one path. And one just told y'all, listen, I ain't trying to have no kids. If you know you ain't trying to have no kids, go get the snips. Shit. It's very cheap. Go, if y'all brothers don't want to have no kids, go get the snips. Be done. Take yourself out the game. Ladies, if you ain't trying to have no kids, listen, take yourself out the game. I know some of y'all may not agree, but shit.
No, you gotta keep don't listen to him, ladies. Wait, you gave me get your tubes tied? Oh, you mean get your tubes tied?
Yes,
okay.
yes.
Oh,
Listen, if you know, yes. Look at Irene already freaking out. Oh, no. Calm down, Irene. Go back to reading. Listen. God damn.
Get snip. Just snip it, y'all.
Listen, if you know doggone well, you do not want to be a parent, take yourself out the game. I ain't say kill yourself, but tie your tubes, get the snips. I literally had this conversation with a man. He was a very successful man. He had a lot of games. He said, Joe, I just don't want to have any kids. I said, well, you're 34 years old. Why don't you go get your semen frozen? Go get some semen frozen and go get the snips. He said, really? He said, you think I should do that? Yeah, man. So, well, you don't have no mistakes, but know what you're doing. He thought about it. He got the snips. Girl came to him. I'm pregnant. No, you ain't. Ain't with my baby. I got the snips 4 months ago. I can't make children. So y'all men, I want y'all to be safe and think about yourself. Get yourself together, man. Please get yourselves together. If y'all don't see what you need in a black woman, you might need to go look elsewhere. I know that coming from me, from BMT. Yes, I would like to see more brothers with black women, but hey, if you can't find what you need out of a black woman, stop. Don't limit yourself to just a color. That's foolish and stupid. I'm sorry. I'm gonna say that right now. I ain't never gonna tell you that you can only mate with just black women. Same thing for black women. Y'all don't need to just listen. I get some of y'all women, I feel for y'all. Y'all trying to hold out for a black man. Listen, if you see a good Hispanic dude, Pablo, Marty, Ryan, hey, do what you got to do and make yourself happy. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need to start putting ourselves in positions of success. Don't think, oh, I'm 35 years old. Nobody's coming to me. I guess I'm going to go get with that boy who sells dime bags of weed. Don't do that. Same thing for y'all brothers. Y'all ain't seen nobody, but that girl who's giving you doggone ass for $40, don't knock her up. It's not worth it. The stress is not worth it. Don't be like my cousin. So I'm going to give it to Irene, see what else she got to say, man. Depends if you can handle the pain. And don't mind. I was in a relationship when I was 12, where I was cheated on 9 times. If I didn't end it, it would be happy. And you know what? Honestly, I'm telling some of y'all right now.
12?
If y'all get,
wait, no, was he 12?
I guess he said when I was 12, where I was cheated
12,
on 9.
Been in a relationship. What kind of conversation? Start there.
Irene, boys 12 years old can get in relationships with girls, but he cheated on 9 times. And then that was a girl. Okay. And if it didn't work, listen, I'm gonna tell y'all right now. If the person is cheating on you, if the person is cheating on you, no, you know what, honestly, hang on. If the person is cheating on you, listen, y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, just because somebody's cheating on you, It's up to you. Need to check that. This ain't no Tina Turner and Ike kind of love. And when you feel like, well, they're cheating on me, I gotta deal with it and just put up with it. BMT avoids saying these females pick dudes who with no careers. I called that out. I did call that out, Wolf. A lot of these females, listen, these females who make bad mistakes, that is not for you to absolve them. If she has a baby, that ain't for you to try to play, you got to absolve her. We're trying to tell y'all, listen, accountability needs to start being called out. Y'all need to start making these people accountable. I listen, my mama, she had 4 kids. She had 4 kids. After a while, when my daddy and her divorced for the second time, my mama just worked. That's all she did. She went to work. She got a job working for Boeing and Force Protection. That's a really high-paying contracted job. She went overseas, made her money, stacked it up, came back, started her contracting business. Now she's married to her next husband. He drives semi-truck. Now they got a big business going on in the Carolinas. But she understood that, listen, I'm just going to do me and get my money together. I ain't say my mama didn't date, but my mama wasn't trying to take no man to bed. She said, yo, I got 4 kids. My mind is on making my money for my children so that way they can go to school and go into the military. A lot of y'all women, just because you have a setback, y'all need to go put yourself to work and grind. The same thing goes for you brothers. You hit a setback, take a step back from these women and focus on getting yourself together. Y'all really need to do that. Like, stop trying to listen. When you focus on yourself, if the woman you're looking for is not in that community or in that area, go to where you flourish. Go to where you thrive at. And if a woman walks to your oasis, you can talk to her. I'm not telling y'all never heard me say go out of your way. You know I will never say that. But y'all need to start waiting for the person who's right for you.
Yeah,
Wait for the person who's right for you. Don't be rushing to these people who don't deserve you. I ain't gonna never tell y'all to do that.
Yeah, I know when I met my man, I wasn't looking for a relationship. I was just introduced to him and we were just talking on business and over time realized we were compatible as more. And I was actually like, is he interested in me? Like I was a little confused, and that turned into something else. And I think that is a healthy way for a relationship to progress. Sometimes we go chasing after things as men and women, and we end up in situations that we don't want to be in. We go chasing after sex. We end up with a baby we don't want. Do you know what I mean? Or didn't plan, because I'm sure you want your children, y'all. We end up in compromising situations. It's better for you just to go and live your life. Do you know what I mean? Be working on you as a person, trying to achieve the highest level of consciousness you can as an individual. And then things will naturally set themselves up where people will be put in your space. And we also have to learn how to be comfortable being alone. Like you don't have to be in a relationship with somebody. You don't have to be having sex with somebody. You should be comfortable just on your own, building you as a person, so that when that person comes along, you recognize them and you're prepared to receive them if that's what you're looking for, right? Because everybody is not looking for a relationship. And don't focus on the negativity. Like the first thing that I look for in an individual, in any relationship I'm having, be that an intimate relationship or a friendship or a business partnership, anything, is that person that's negative. No matter what you say, their energy is negative. I dismiss those kinds of people because they cannot contribute anything to where you are. And if you start surrounding yourself with like-minded people, then you are more likely to come across a person who is similar to you. It's like if you surround yourself with hoish people, people who are sleeping around, people who don't want relationships, da 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 da, but you're expecting to run into your next wife or husband, that's not going to happen. You need to be surrounding yourself with people who are about those things. It's like if you want to be successful in business, but you want to surround yourself with a bunch of people who don't want to do crap. How does that make sense? You're going to want to surround yourself with other entrepreneurs, people who are trying to accomplish things. And that's the same for anything in life. Surround yourself with and bring in your personal space and author your little universe to be one that is representative of where you are currently in your life. You can tell a lot about where you are as a person from your environment. The things that you have allowed to be in your space, that you're not checking in your space. You could tell if you're weak. You could tell if you are submissive, if you're dominant. You could tell if you're self-destructive. You could tell a lot. I know a guy, and he's a very self-destructive person. He is very, very successful, many doctorates, many hustles, you know, but he's self-destructive. He does things that bring destruction in his direction. Looks good on paper, but personality-wise, we don't vibe, because I see you're trying to destroy yourself. So what do I look like trying to hang out with you? I'll get caught up in the destruction too. As the tornado hits you, it's likely to blow some of my energy around. So we have to think about that as people and be responsible for that and honest with ourselves about what we are attracting and what we're chasing. What are you chasing? We're all chasing something. Ask yourself, what am I chasing? And be honest with yourself, right? There's no harm in being honest with yourself, because you'll be the only one to know the answer. And I think a lot of times we will lie to ourselves even. We'll be delusional to our own selves. And people like that are dangerous. They're dangerous to themselves and they're dangerous to others. Somebody said in the chat, people change. People do change. Or they don't change. And you just didn't meet them, or you chose to ignore them when they introduced themselves to you. You know what I'm saying? People become more themselves before they change. Change is much harder because change indicates something has actually morphed. And most morphs that we see are growth, right? So people either reveal more of themselves, they become more of what they are, or they're growing. A lot of times we end up in relationships with people where we end up meeting them because they start pulling down the facades. They start exposing their nature. But that's always who they were. It's just, did you choose to ignore that? A lot of times we do, because there's always a red flag. There's always a red flag. There's always multiple red flags, okay? Nobody's that good of a damn actor, trust me. But a lot of times we choose to ignore them. So we're making a choice there, right? And we have to be responsible for our own choices and not finger point. Does that mean that other people don't do anything wrong? No. It just means that what you can control is yourself. Therefore, we're looking to ourselves for our part in a situation. And to what the brother was saying about accountability, that is necessary too, right? Accountability. But we also know that we can only hold each other accountable for that which we understand, right? Because we can look at a situation and determine anything we want and read anything we want into a situation. But if you've not actually engaged the person to get the backstory on that, that's a pet peeve of my man. What's the backstory? What's the context? Then at that point, we can speak about accountability. But just to say this is the framework of the story and now I want to hold somebody accountable is ignorant. We can't hold anything accountable we don't have details on, right? We need some details. There are very few things in life that we could just speak accountability to without details. Now, there are exceptions to this, right? Egregious acts like raping a child and stuff like that. We don't need details on that. But when we're talking about the framework of a person's life, details are helpful.
I want to say that for a lot of y'all brothers, I know somebody said, well, if I married outside Like I said, I know a lot of y'all like to ask the question. I knew it was going to come up about, well, you said about marrying outside of your race. Would I still be able to benefit or be pro-black? And we had a long talk about that because first of all, you stop being pro-black, but that don't mean you cannot be. There's a difference between pro-black and black nationalists. There's a difference. There's two of them. Some of y'all confusing the pro-black and the black nationalists. Okay, now if you're trying to find happiness, and I ain't gonna lie, I've seen more white people do more for the black community than some black people. So we ain't gonna pretend like I don't know what to tell y'all now. But I've seen some white women marry a black man who has kids and do more for them dang babies and that man than the mother. I've seen a black man who wasn't shit with a woman, a black woman, but goes and marries a white woman, and them girls treat that black man like the greatest father in the world. So, I mean, y'all, if y'all talking about just black on black love, then let that be. But I'm telling you right now, this pro-black thing, it depends on you just talking about the economic or you talking about the family base. Because it's a slippery slope, and it's whatever you're trying to slide on. You know what I'm saying? Like, when y'all start hitting on that, I gotta ask you, who is supporting you? First of all, I'm gonna ask you as men, do you want a supportive woman? I'm tired of telling men to wait for a woman that is not going to respect you and your rule of law. I'm not going to tell y'all to do that. Irene is not going to tell y'all to do that. I'm not going to tell no woman to listen. Oh, wait. All you got is these brothers right here. So you ain't loyal to black people. No, she wants to have a child. She wants to have a man who respects her. I'm not no damn dick police. I can give a damn who you come back with. If you come back with somebody who's respecting you and you helping out the black community and you doing well, I'm not going to shoot you down. Me and Irene, that was our first talk. Irene is all for the black community. People freak the hell out when they say, oh my God, you married a white man. But guess what? She's supporting black men.
Well, I think it's funny too, because people are like, and I saw some of these comments before, but I always don't respond to it, right? I just respond to, I have a way of responding to the negativity I like to respond to just for fun sometimes, but on the whole, I don't. But I did see a comment that was like, well, she was married to a white guy, so she was around all white people. And I thought that was so funny to make that assumption, because the white boy I was married to was from New York, and he was a B-boy. And he worked in hip hop. So he produced hip hop music. He produced hip hop videos. He went on hip hop tours. Like, he worked with a lot of artists a lot of you probably like, okay? Some mixed people that y'all probably like that are rappers and things like that. So he was engrossed in what would be black culture, not the other way around. So that's why I mean, we take a framework and we make assumptions. And during that time, black families were employed with his radio station, with his multimedia company. And that's the same way today, now that we're not together. So I think people look at a framework and think that they know what's going on, and they don't know crap. Do you know what I mean? But I think that is fine. And I think that, to me, having sex with, I don't find a person, I mean, Rosa Parks was mixed, y'all. If we really get into it, we're gonna have to throw out a huge number of black people that did a lot for the black community. You know, we're gonna have to throw out half of the people that we celebrate during Black History Month, because they either were in interracial relationships, so-called, right, or they weren't fully black. You know?
Yeah, are y'all gonna throw out Maya Angelou?
Yeah,
are y'all gonna throw her out?
What about your
little? Throw out Frederick Douglass? We started calling we pro-black, then we got a lot of people we're gonna start throwing out the race. Martin Luther King used to see with a lot of women, and so not all of them were black. Just letting y'all know.
So, are you gonna not care for your little niece or nephew or cousin that's a little mixed kid? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like a lot of these conversations are disingenuous and stupid, and they're just for YouTube. And that's why I don't like to indulge that kind of rhetoric. At the end of the day, to me, a person that only dates Black and has a bunch of Black babies but doesn't take care of them and does nothing for the community is not more pro-Black than the mixed person or the Black person who's with the Chinese person who builds a Black school. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just stupid. And it's a stupid thing to think that. I think the action and the behavior and what that person is perpetrating in the community, not just the lip service or who they have sex with. Right now, Obsidian doesn't think Black women are good for anything but being bent over a couch. But because he chooses to have sex with Black women when he does bend a woman over the couch, he's pro-Black. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, we have to ask ourselves questions like that, because that doesn't matter, because he also says he's not a part of the Black community. He's an individualist. So how is what he does more valid than, let's say, what was done by some people who were pro-Black in their actions historically, but may have been half Black or may have had a spouse outside of the race? And also, I just want to touch on, just because we're on it, and I know this is going to trigger a lot of people, the whole sect of people that think white people are not even human beings. I just think that that's crazy, because if they're not human beings and the average African American is 15 to 25% white, what does that say about you? Are you 15 to 20%, 25% non-human? So I feel like a lot of these conversations, these hateful conversations, are counterproductive to our productivity, because there's a sect of people who want to see the nuclear family of our communities destroyed. There's a sect of people that want to have Black people dividing themselves so that they will never collectively do anything. There's a sect of people who want to see Black men and Black women pitted against each other in an endless fight. Why? Because while we're infighting over this stupid stuff, we cannot do anything effectual.
I try to tell them, listen, man, I'm going to tell y'all right now, if that was the case, I should have seen none of y'all pro-Black Negroes voting for Obama. Since y'all want to say y'all pro-Black, y'all should have never voted for Obama. But ain't no Black woman raised Obama. It was a white woman. Since we want to call that shit. If y'all about this, y'all ain't for that swirling shit, then hey, y'all shouldn't have no problem watching the NFL. Y'all shouldn't be following that mulatto, Colin Kaepernick. Since y'all want to say y'all don't like the swirlers or y'all don't like the mixed people, don't get behind any of them doggone movement. Don't follow Black Lives Matter. Mind you, that's a white dude over Black Lives Matter. Y'all shouldn't be part of the NAACP started by white people. You can go look it up. It ain't no myth. I'm just going to let y'all know right now, a lot of these movements were not started by Black people. I told y'all. Black, if y'all want some respect, start your own damn shit. Y'all, if we want to start talking this pro-Black talk, and y'all don't want me on that. Y'all don't want me on that. With half the shit y'all that we be doing now, this is what I'm saying. Only Black people make a big stink about who's married to who. I don't ever hear white people, oh my God, he's married to a Black woman. I don't see them freaking out on that shit on TV. I don't see them doing the most. Why do we do it? I don't get it. Y'all, we fought so hard to get to want to marry and fuck whoever we wanted to. Now y'all make a big deal about it. I'm just saying, man, like at some point, like, why? Especially for us men. Like, there ain't no point to doing that shit anymore, man. There ain't no point. Y'all should have never voted for Obama. Y'all got that much problem. Y'all that damn pro-Black. You should have never voted for Obama. You should have put Ben Carson in office, damn it. But you did it. That's what I'm saying. I don't understand this the pro-Black mindset anymore. David Carroll called that shit out a long time ago. Same thing for you, some women. Y'all didn't like Creed, but then all of a sudden y'all like Widow. How the fuck that work? Like we got y'all gotta really start doing some research on some of the shit y'all be backing and talking about.
Yeah.
Y'all,
yeah.
go ahead.
I agree. I have a video, Science Says Racists Are Stupid. And I advise you guys watch that video because I am very much for relationships between Black men and women. I think that is something that we should promote. I think we should promote Blackness as a standard, like the darkest person in the room with the biggest lips and the largest nose as a standard of beauty, the kinkiest hair as a standard of beauty in our community. I think all of those are helpful, but I don't think we need to be hateful toward any other group to uplift ourselves. I don't think we need to use the blueprint that was used against us, the same rhetoric that was used against us to get anywhere. I don't think we need to become like anybody to be for ourselves. That's what we don't need to do. I think we need to preserve the things that are beautiful about our community, which is our humanity, our compassion, our limitations. We have limitations that have not always been exercised when people deal with our community. And I think we need to maintain those, or we risk becoming just like the people that a lot of us profess to hate. I don't think hate needs to be a part of this. Nothing good comes out of that. Nothing good comes out of it, in my opinion. And also because we are not islands as human beings. We share this planet with a whole lot of other people. And believe you me, to grow even within our own community, we have to interact with others. It has to be done. So I think a lot of this is illogical. And I think a lot of this is the YouTube world, right? People get online and start talking extra special stupid and do things that and claim to do things that they don't enact that in their own life. They're not going off at the checker at the grocery store. They're not disinviting that one little niece from the birthday party. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think that like we have to have honest conversations and know that it's okay. Know that we can be for ourselves and not against anybody else. We could just be against the bullshit. We could be against that. And I think that is fine. I think that is absolutely fine. But see, that's my opinion. See, and a lot of people have different opinions. And I guess that's fine too, right? We'll be sharpened by the ignorance of other people sometimes. We'll be sharpened by the challenges that come from other people sometimes. We'll be sharpened by differences of opinion.
I try to tell people, listen, man, like it took me 2 good long years to get the woman I wanted, man. 2 good long years. I try to tell y'all, my content ain't for everybody. I ain't trying to be like, I ain't trying to hear everybody's thing. I'm for builders. This is why I made it the way I made it. I don't think like you. I don't think like some of y'all think. I'm not trying to. I'm not with the collective. I've done traveled the world too many times and I see how it works. This racism tool is just a tool. I don't understand it. Like for a lot of us, as much as I told this one black man from Africa, this African dude, he came over and he was bragging off how great Africa was. I said, well, shit, if it's that great, then why the fuck you need the Chinese to help y'all rebuild that shit? Why y'all got the Europeans in there? Why didn't y'all just tell them we don't want no more deals? We'll just fucking forge for ourselves. Y'all as black men, black women, build your home first before you start talking about you want to tackle the government, society, and all this shit. Build your home first. Establish your dominance in your community. And if your community does not accept you, leave and go to a community that will, or build your own damn community. Me and MOT have said this plenty of times. Everybody does not have to accept your message. I'm not trying to indoctrinate y'all. I'm not trying to get y'all to join onto no damn cause. Fight your own damn cause, damn it. That's the problem with a lot of y'all. Y'all think that somehow that, oh man, I gotta control this black woman. She's not your woman. And she's not taking on your last name. She owes no loyalty to you. And the same thing for you women. You're not going to control this man. If you want to control this man, then bed him and be under his rule. Then he may listen to you. That is the facts of life some of y'all don't understand. Woman, you're going to have to be obedient to this man. Man, you're going to have to usher and take on this woman. If you ain't willing to do that, then y'all need to shut the hell up.
I think that we have to recognize that there is an individual aspect and then a communal aspect. So we are in a unique position in the Black community where there are collective beliefs about our community, and those beliefs do affect us all. But recognize, and I feel that this is so important, that the change that we need to see within our community can be exacted on a micro level. And before we start talking big things about overthrowing the government or rebuilding anything or anything like that, I think it is essential that we recognize that we have to be able to manage our households.
Facts.
You need to be able to manage just a relationship with you and the people on your block. You know, so if we can't even do that at a small level, then it's stupid to have these big level conversations. So I think that we recognize that as we individually improve, we then improve our households, we then improve our communities, because ultimately our collective is made up of individuals. So yes, you know, acknowledge that our behavior does impact the collective image, right? But also recognize that you have to work on you and your space, and that is how you can directly improve our collective. And as certain behaviors improve, right, we see that because of peer pressure, so to speak, or because of what is accepted or is not accepted, then other people will fall into place. There are certain behaviors that didn't exist in mass and weren't open because they were not communally accepted, because on individual levels and within homes, those behaviors weren't accepted. So then they weren't accepted as a community. And I think sometimes, you know what I mean, we need to get a hold of the minors, but we want to have like major conversations. And that's a very backward way of thinking. You must be right foundationally to build anything. With no foundation, you're not building anything. But with that said, y'all, we've been talking for like 2 hours.
That was a good show. We did a good show. Shit. Now we're going to be going off to other. Very soon they're going to have us talking about dang building land and property. And if y'all want that, I think they asked for that topic about
property. We can talk about that because I worked in commercial real estate for 10 years at the executive level. So
I renovate and build up on property, and that's just so I guess we can talk about that. I don't mind, but the only thing I hate about it is that when we give out the information, y'all don't take advantage of it. And then we hear y'all back to square one bitching. That's the shit that gets me. Y'all know that the government actually gives away free land? Did y'all know that? For free? Like only like this the United States is not 100% covered. There's property that has not even been touched that they want people to move on. Y'all could go buy houses. There's auctions at nighttime on TV that they offer homes for butt cheap. So I'll do it. If Irene says, Joe, come BMT, come on, I'll come on and I'll back her up, and we can tell y'all some stuff on how to get property, how to re-renovate, and how to flip homes and stuff and make thousands and millions of dollars. But I already know most of y'all just going to say, I'm just here just to be here. Yeah, I ain't going to do the shit, so it don't matter.
Well, I feel like this. I feel like every message, y'all, is not for every single person. And that is totally okay.
She's always trying to save a soul. She's always trying to save somebody.
No, I'm fair-minded. So I feel like every message is not for every person. and that's okay, right? We have to receive things when we're in a place to receive them. And so those that want to receive are in that place will receive it, and those that aren't, they won't. And it is what it is. Like, whatever.
Yeah.
But I am glad that you came up with this topic. I think it was definitely a good topic. I'm grateful to those of you that are in the chat. Make sure you hit the like on your way out so that our likes are representative of the people that have been coming in and out of the room. Because I know we've rotated people. So we've kept the same amount of people, but it's not all the same people consistently. And yeah, there we go. So do you have anything to say in conclusion?
Pretty much. It was a great talk. I'm glad that Irene allowed me to do this on her platform. I didn't think we were going to actually go for 2 hours, but shit, there was a lot for us to cover. Again, no relationship is going to be perfect. It's going to be what you guys make it. Men, be the men of the relationship. Establish your dominance. Women, be willing to work with this man. He's not going to be perfect. He's not going to be perfect. But if you help nudge him in the right direction, he will work out for you and he will build you greatness. Not saying, but understand this. Make sure y'all both have something going for yourselves first. Men, do not just do not limit yourself to just a vagina. Please. Don't make a baby within the first 6 months. Please. I'm trying to save some of y'all. And if you know you ain't shit, please don't make no babies at all. None.
It's okay to not have children. It's okay.
Y'all heard that from Irene now. Irene, who's all about making babies, just told y'all it's okay not to have babies.
Yes.
You're pretty serious.
Yes, please. I don't promote us all to reproduce. So with that said, y'all, I am out of here. Thank you so much for chilling in the chat with us, for coming through, for keeping it pretty positive. I really appreciate that. And I will talk to you later. Thank you. Check out his channels. The descriptions are in my description box, or the links. The links are in my description box, y'all. And thank you to my guest. Bye.